me superstar, baby, you ain't got no got game, got sauce. I score cause I'm around the globe. I fell in love with the super guys, yeah. I feel so free, I'm the fireman. I got bands on me, I said yeah. I feel so free, I'm the fireman. I got bags on me.
Hey guys, good evening and welcome in. This is it. This is the ultimate stage. My name is Selvin and I'm here to be your host and commentator for today for the FIFAe Nations. We started from the plains, reached the playoffs, and now here we are for a massive day and some massive days lined up in Indian FIFA history. And talking about massive Indian FIFA, we have Lokmanu here with us, a name that needs no introduction whatsoever in the Indian FIFA scene. Lokmanu, how are you feeling today and what are your thoughts about this day?
Yeah, Selmil, thank you so much for having me here. And of course, it's a pleasure. We are here for the final stages of this FIFA Nations Cup 2023. And we all know how we've risen through the ranks. India has done fantastic in the recent past of performing well. And unfortunately, the plains weren't that good for us this year, but we came through the online qualifiers, then we came in the regional playoffs, and eventually doing so well in it. So I'm really looking forward to it. Last year, of course, we put a stamp on the FIFA esports global map, and we are here again, and I cannot wait for this one.
Absolutely, Lokmanu. I think it's going to be one of the most craziest days when it comes to Indian FIFA, considering that we've risen to rank 6 in the global rankings as well. We're going to talk a lot about India. We're going to talk a lot about the opponents, our players. I think first we should discuss about the prize pool of this entire tournament that we are going into. And I think you should run us through the prize pool here.
Yeah, so I mean, FIFAe has done a fantastic thing over the years of increasing the prize pool for the players and all the participating member associations. Now, we saw the prize pool starting 2 years ago at I think $100,000, then it went up to $400,000, and now it's up to $1 million US. That's fantastic, really, isn't it? And as you guys can see on your screens, that the winner gets $300,000 US, and the finalist will get $150,000. That's a lot of money, Selvin, and that is, of course, a huge motivation for all these athletes to put in that hard work year in, year out, right? And to be able to play throughout the season and even to get amongst the top 24 nations in the world is not an easy task, as we've seen through all these qualifiers that happened. So obviously it's incredible really what FIFA is doing, and hopefully we see this prize pool double, triple in the future, who knows? But yeah, it's massive really.
It is indeed massive, considering the rise of money and the money involved with this. Of course, it's nothing less than what these esports athletes deserve. And considering that, Riyadh is also doing such a great job where the finals are being held right now, I think it's time we just know about the Indian E-Tigers, because there are a lot of people out there who may not know what exactly is happening. This is the FIFA game that we have on the PlayStation 5, and we have our E-Tigers who are in Riyadh right now, who are going to be playing. So I think let's just take a look at the E-Tigers video.
Years old and I play for the Indian national team and the Godlike esports team. I hail from the city Chandigarh, which is in the north of India. I started playing FIFA back in 2018, where I won my first tournament, which was in my local city Chandigarh. And ever since, I haven't looked back. I have just played FIFA throughout like the past 2-3 years, and during the COVID era I got really better, and then when India got eligibility in FIFA 21, then I like upped my game from local level to professional level, and yeah, now I'm here. When I got into esports, there was no particular path for a professional player, back in 2019, 2020. There was no eligibility. We just have to go around cities in India, 1 week I'll be in Delhi, next week I'll be in Mumbai, you know, just to play the local tournaments. So there was no structure. But ever since FIFA 21, 22, with the involvement of esports teams, with the involvement of AIFF getting into the FIFA, then India getting into the E-Nation series, then, you know, we had a plan. We knew like we can get into the professional aspect of FIFA, and yeah.
Hello, my name is Saransh and I'm 22 years old. I'm currently playing professionally FIFA for Godlike Esports and for the Indian national team. I started playing competitive FIFA around 6 years ago when I was 16 years of age. It's been a long time since I've been playing this, and I've represented India multiple times before, but not at a stage this big before. We came here last year as well to represent India in the FIFA E-Nations Cup. Things didn't go as planned, didn't do that well as per our expectations, but this year we're better prepared and we're looking well, and hopefully we can get some good results starting off tomorrow. I'm currently a 2-time EISL champion and a 2-time FGS champion. So coming into this tournament, we're coming in with a lot of expectations. Team India as well, we are currently number 6th in the world, and Asia champions as well. So there's a lot of pressure on our shoulders, but hopefully we keep at it and we do well.
Hi, my name is Saksham Ratan. I'm 27 years old. I'm from Pune. I'm civil engineer by education, and I'm a professional esports athlete for the Indian national team. I've been competing for the past 6 years, nearly 7 years, and I started off competing when I was in my second year of engineering. Back then I was not planning on making it as my profession, but fast forward 7 years, I'm now representing Indian national team at the biggest stage of all, and I'm quite happy to be here. And it's been a long journey where we've seen India get eligibility, and then we've seen Indians perform very good at the international level. So this competition is very important for us because we are representing our nation, and we hope to make our entire country proud.
Well, that was something great. It was great to know the E-Tigers and to know a little bit more about them and their journey. But of course, along with the E-Tigers, we also have a coach out there who's Jenna Sid. And Lokman, you were the coach last year for the Indian FIFA team when you all went to Denmark. I think you should speak a little about how, the difference a coach makes and the impact of a coach.
Yeah, absolutely. I think a coach's role is very important, just like how it is in real football as well. And obviously all the tactical information that is needed as a third person's view, as we call it, to prepare and see what other players are doing, because the players themselves are focused on their game. A coach has to tell them a bit more about what's going on, and I think that role is very crucial, and Sid Chandrana this time is living up to that role. Let's see what he has to say with how the preparation has been going for the Tigers.
Hi Sid, thanks for joining. How does it feel being back at the FIFA E-Nations Cup?
It feels amazing, it's an honor and a privilege to play for the Indian national team, and we are delighted to be at the FIFA Nations Cup for a second season.
How has the preparations been shaping up here in Riyadh?
It's been amazing. We've been here for a while. We've had a lot of time to prepare. We've been here for I think 5 days now, and we had the chance to watch the E-Club World Cup and learn a lot of things. So hopefully we can get off to a good start today.
Okay. You have been here at this stage before as a player and now as a coach. Please take us through the mentality of the team going into the first match.
So our first game is against Germany, but we're not faced by the fact that we have some top teams in our group, because we are ranked 6th in the world ourselves, and we've been playing really well in practice. So it's just a matter of replicating that when we play the games. So if we have a good mentality, we can win all the games in the group.
Finally, any message for the supporters back in India and around the world?
I'm very grateful to all the fans. We've received a lot of messages and lots of love. So hopefully we can bring the trophy back home to you guys.
Thank you and good luck for the matches.
Thank you.
Well, some great words out here by our coach, Genesis FC, Sid Chandrana, as we know him. And the E-Tigers and the coach look to be very confident. And I'm going to say that they are well prepared for this, as they said in their particular interviews. Now, Lokmanyu, we are in, along with 23 more nations, of course, top nations in this world. You are a competitive FIFA player yourself, and also, of course, a part of the Indian E-Tigers overall squad. Now, we're just going to take a look at the groups. and I want you to discuss the probability, of India qualifying, about the other teams that are there. I mean, let's not focus on Group A, Group B, and Group C right now. But when we look at Group D, we have Israel, India, South Africa, Peru, Germany, Sweden. For the ones who do not really watch FIFA, Lokman, could you just tell us about the talent that each country has individually as a team, and of course about Team India as well?
Yeah, of course, Selvin. I think when we focus on Group D, which is of course our group, we see some top nations in there. We see Israel. Now I'm going to take you through all the rankings of all the nations that are there in the group. And this is how the rankings work in the FIFAe system, just like how it is for the real FIFA men's rankings. Now Sweden is ranked number 4th in the world, as we all saw last year what they did, reaching the semi-finals. Now when it comes to us, we are 6th in the world, and that's a massive achievement, right? For any football fan as well, even though it's FIFA esports. I mean, the kind of scale that we're progressing through, it's been incredible, really, and we've put on a stamp in the global map, as I said earlier. Then comes Israel, which are ranked 13th in the world. Then is Germany, 14th. So both these nations are a part of the European region when it comes to competing in FIFA esports, and they have been fantastic, really. They've got some great players, and we'll talk about them more as we progress towards the matches when they go live. Then comes Peru, which is 25th in the world. Now the South American nation has made some waves whenever it has come to qualifying for big events, and they are here to make a name for themselves at the global stage. So they're ranked 25th in the world. Last comes South Africa, but they're definitely not the least. They've got some amazing talent. They've done so well in the E-Club World Cup as well, as we saw in the past 2-3 days. They're ranked 29th in the world, Selvin. And when you see all these nations, they're all in the top 30, and we all know how it works when it comes to such competitive matches at the highest level. And I don't think so these rankings will matter once we go into the games. But yeah, that's just a bit of a background of how these nations rank on the rankings of FIFA.
Well, absolutely. Thank you for that, Lokmani. When I think on your screens right now, ladies and gentlemen, you can see the E-Tigers walking into their gaming consoles, and of course there are a lot more players out there, a lot more teams out there. But Lokmanu, what an unreal feeling. Of course you witnessed it last year when you were with the E-Tigers as a coach. I mean, it's going to be an absolutely cracking few days for these E-Tigers. I mean, they are very experienced when it comes to the national level, when it comes to the international level. There we see the current E-World champion Umut, of course, who is from Germany, and it is going to be India versus Germany in the first game as well. We are also going to be taking a look at the fixtures very soon. But this is Group D walking out. There's Olilito, Oliboli from Sweden. And there we go, Lokmanu. India versus Germany, South Africa versus India, India versus Sweden, India versus Israel, Peru versus India. You've spoken a bit about how good these teams are, their rankings. But we've also mentioned that, rankings is just on paper. On the main day, it depends on how good you are and what you can do with your game plan. Let's just discuss about the games that we have in the first half of today's gameplay. India versus Germany, South Africa, and Sweden. What are your thoughts on the same?
Yeah, of course, as you said, Selvin, earlier, that Germany has some of the best players in the world. And when we look at Germany's Umut, now he's the current 1v1 world champion. Obviously the World Cup is going to happen, and that might change after that. But when it comes to Umut, he's just recently won the E-Club World Cup with RB Leipzig, and that is of course given him a lot of confidence going into the fixtures of E-Nations. Now he has teammates like Levi, Finn and Dallin Mike, both of them top talent, and as we know, Germans are very good at the game, probably arguably one of the biggest nations when it comes to FIFA esports. Even the selection of the German national team is one of the toughest selections because they've got 8 or 9 players who play at the highest level. So that's the kind of opponent that we're facing. But I think with how we've done in the recent past, because coming out as Asian champions as well, I think it's a David versus Goliath situation. The E-Tigers might not realize it because they're there and they know it's a European nation, it's Germany. But I have a feeling, because I was there last year, when you see their confidence, even last year when we were playing against Poland, we were up 2-0 and Poland were the runners-up of the E-Nations last year. And if we would have held on to that lead, I think that would have given us obviously a greater chance of progressing in the knockouts. But that's the kind of talent we have. That's the kind of focus we have. As you see both our E-Tigers sitting there, Charanjot and Saransh, and of course Genocide in the background alongside Saksham Ratan. Now, all these e-tigers are more than capable of achieving results at the highest level, Selvan. So, we're obviously going to look at the next fixture after this, and we'll talk more about the Swedish players also and South African players as well. But I think this is the biggest game there is for us to focus on right now.
Absolutely, Lokman, and I think it's going to be great insights. But just before we could get with the game, okay, we have this in-game squad. Now, for everyone watching, this is the FIFA Ultimate Team version. It is 2v2. Every game will be 2v2. Today is the group stage. That means we'll play every game for 90 in-game minutes. We have key players, drafted players, and open pool players. Lokman, could you quickly take us through these players and tell us the difference between key players, drafted players, and the open pool players, please?
Yeah, of course. I mean, this is the format that FIFAe has followed throughout this year, right from the play-ins to the online stages through the regional playoffs as well. Now, key players are, of course, the players that the squad, the member association, a national team can select regardless of if they are available to other nations also. These are the key players. Now, these are the most popular players and the most meta players. Meta means most effective tactics available. These are all the players that you would want in your team, without which you can't play. So FIFAe has given 3 slots for that. R9, as we say it, Ronaldo Nazario, the Brazilian R9, as we call him. Kylian Mbappe, of course, one of the upcoming stars in the real football as well, has some of the best versions of his card in the game. And then comes Virgil van Dijk. He is so good, as we all know in real life, and of course in FIFA as well. Now comes to the drafted players. These are the players that nations pick themselves, and these are the players that are not available to any other nation. So you won't be seeing the likes of Socrates, Bruno, Ronaldinho in someone else's team when we are heading into the games. Now, India, of course, has a very good team, as I was seeing this earlier as well. There's Socrates, his new version has come out, and he is absolutely fantastic. Same is the case with Bruno Fernandes, Ronaldinho, one of the best icons in the game, available for everyone to use. Ruben Diaz, very good player as well. Christopher Nkunku is also there. He, again, is a player that will help a lot for us to score goals. Then comes Emiliano Martinez. He is, of course, a goalkeeper in real life, but the new promo of the Shapeshifters that has come out has given him chance to play in the outfield instead of the goalkeeper, so that's good. N'Golo Kante, of course, a household name there is, he's also very good, and Jules Koundé. Now comes the open pool players. Now these are the players that are available for everyone to use in any team in this competition. So Thierry Henry, of course, a very good player. Schweinsteiger, Klostermann, Guardiola, Paul Pogba, Rudiger, Ballack, Neuer, Becker, a lot of German players, as we can see. So it's kind of ironical, really, as we'll be using all these players against the German national team itself. But then comes David De Gea, Van der Sar, and Zambroda. So all in all, we have a very good team, Selvin, and I want to see how the E-Tigers set it up, because it depends upon what formation they're playing, and we'll know that soon.
Thank you so much, Lokmanu. I think that was detailed explanation, not just about the type of players, but also every player in general. Now, the drafted players that we've selected, of course, before the match starts, they are exclusively available to us. How much of a difference are these drafted players going to make, considering that, they are only available for us to play with?
Yeah, I think it is a massive difference, because there's a proper draft system that happens, and if you miss out on the right player, then you have to be ready with the second player that's available for you to choose from. So basically, if I wanted Marcus Rashford and I couldn't get him, I should know the instant replacement in my mind as to what I can pick if, for example, Germany has picked that. So this, of course, has a huge role because of the system and the setup and the tactics that you play with. So in my opinion, these of course matter a lot. And as we see for Germany, especially focusing on the drafted players, Varane, of course, a very good player, Rashford, Zaha, Toko Kambi has his left back version in the game, Adrian Rabiot, of course, a very good player. Bremer is there, Toni Kroos, and Rafael Leao. Now, Rafael Leao is a player I'm going to watch out for, because he sort of fits the system of Germany. I've seen German players play. I've studied their game as well. I did that last year also. And Leao is going to be a very crucial player for them. So let's see how Germany sets up their team in the game.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Lokmanu. And for everyone watching, this is the Team Germany in-game squad, which includes R9, Mbappe, and Van Dijk as their key players. You can see the players out there on the screen. They are good to go. Janasid in the background, along with Saksham Ratan and Pranav, of course, the team manager. Charanjot and Saransh will be playing the first game. They're both cool as you like, representing India. They've been doing this multiple times. They're possibly the two best players in India right now. And Germany will be playing with Levy and Umut. Now, Lokmanu, imagine the amount of talent that this country has. When you have Dallin Mike, a previous Foot Champs Cup winner, which is, winning Foot Champs is one of the best things for a professional FIFA player. He is currently being benched. And of course, Umut is currently the best player in the world, which is going to change next week or next to next week because he hasn't qualified for this year's World Cup. But then how much of a momentum shift do you think is going to be for him, because he's just won the Club World Cup and he is in today with a different teammate, of course, and that's going to be like crucial, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the game is kicked off, so let's just talk about Umut and Levi Finn in a second. But India versus Germany has kicked off. India playing from left to right in the red kit. Unfortunately, we don't have India's national team kit available in the game, so we have to go with the red kit, and Germany is in their usual black and white strip, playing from right to the left. Now, Selvin, going back to Umut, I think what you were saying is that the confidence boost he has with regards to winning the E-Club World Cup last week, I think it's going to give him a massive boost. And at the same time, he knows that he's not playing the 1v1 World Cup after this. So he has everything on the line for him representing Germany, and he wants to make it double when it comes to his tally. And when it comes to Levi Finn, of course, a very, very good player who's come up through the ranks in the German national team, a top pro, and it's amazing to see really how Germany has done in their grassroots level as well when it comes to FIFA esports. But now we're going to head back into the game, and as we see Germany is on the attack, they're going to be attacking from the right side. Kylian Mbappe gets inside the box, plays it back to R9, and a very good block from Virgil van Dijk there.
Great block indeed. And Lokmanu, of course, we've seen Team India, and throughout the Asia and Oceania qualifiers, we did see one pattern very often, which was an early goal within the first 10 minutes. That's something that we're going to not see today. But then both these teams, of course, would have seen how the other team plays. India, of course, heading into this one as the champions of our individual region. And Germany would be aware of the threat that India possess, especially down the wing. And here is Pogba on the wing again, but he's lost the ball. But then what are your thoughts about, losing a goal right from kickoff or scoring a goal right from kickoff if you are an opponent?
Yeah, I think when we talk about it, just we'll have a second. Here's a chance for Marcus Rashford. He takes it and Germany gets the first goal. Quite unfortunate for the ball to get deflected and land into Kylian Mbappe's path. And that is India going down by a goal. And Salman, we were just talking about this, really ironical, isn't it, that the first goal is so important, and just when we were talking, we unfortunately jinxed it, I would say, and India is on the back foot. But I think with the E-Tigers, it's always been the case of coming back. They have done it in the past, as we see in the regional qualifiers also. So we can't just say that Germany has taken, India has taken the back seat and Germany is sort of leading. I think E-Tigers are going to make a comeback really soon in this game, as we see them attacking right from kickoff.
Well, absolutely. One thing is for sure, that these guys are going to try everything, and R9 was inside the box there. And once R9 gets in the box, there's some magic that is going to happen. But let's just hope there are 70 more in-game minutes approximately left for Team India to capitalize and to make this count. Just to let the viewers know, this is a one-leg game right now, since these are the group stages. Whatever the result after 90 minutes, that's how the points would be calculated. If it's a win for a team, they get 3 points, a loss is 0, and a draw after 90 minutes would mean it's 1 point each, and there's going to be no extra time or penalties, at least today and tomorrow. But here's Germany on the attack once again. Lokmanu, it looks like they have a very simple game plan. They want to run on the wing, cut it back to the player making that late run, and hope to catch India out, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's been very clear since the start. I think with Umut, the way that he plays, especially in 1v1 also, that he likes to go on the wings, does a cut back inside and straight away runs with a step over, tries to attack very aggressively through the middle. So I think this is what the E-Tigers, they already know this, and they know they have to stop those threats right from the center, because if they stop those passes that are going from the center to the wings, that is like half the job done when it comes to Germany's attack. And as you see the progress they're making in terms of pressing the ball, India has to make those passes very quickly, and they can't afford to lose possession so cheaply in the middle of the park. And you see Germany playing again to the wings, cuts back inside, R9 with a chance, great block by Ruben Diaz, but Virgil van Dijk intercepting it. Thierry Henry on the wings for Germany now. Van Dijk plays it to Klosterman, Kylian Mbappe, and Klosterman for India doing the job really well. So yeah, I think, Selvin, it's very important for us in order to make those passes and keep playing out from the wings ourselves.
Well, absolutely it is, and that's what Team India has in mind. R9 with the shot. I think it was R9, doesn't really matter because Team India has just equalized from the wings. A beautiful cross in the center, beautiful header which was a layoff for R9, I'm assuming. But you could see those fist bumps, and Lokmanu, I think my energy and my reaction is going to be similar to yours, and for the entire team that's supporting Team India at the World Cup right now. I mean, this is absolutely incredible. What a way to answer.
What a massive goal that was. If only the face cam was on, Selvin, you would have seen my reaction as to how happy I was. And as we see, the Indian football fans are going crazy on the stream chat as well, because India has just equalized against Germany. What a massive goal that is. And we would like to see more of the same, please. Charanjot and Saransh doing such a good job going out to the wings, passing it inside, heading it down, chesting it down, and then R9, of course, with his left foot. What a brilliant goal that was, Selvin. And right on the edge of the half-time, India is going to try and hold on to the ball. Here's Paul Pogba with the new card, plays it back to Henry. Now India has a chance to get another goal before the half-time whistle. Kylian Mbappe, beautiful reverse elastico there. R9 still has the ball, plays it to Socrates, Guardiol. Back to Socrates. India is building up so well around Germany's box, and they're going to take their sweet time as we see Selvin just trying to build up slowly. Last chance saloon for them. Can they get this? Second goal. Plays it past to Mbappe, but good defending there, and Germany is certainly feeling the pressure. Incredible last 10 minutes in game for the E-Tigers, Selvin.
Absolutely, and Lokmanu, there was this one time in the game where you could see, at least after India scoring the goal and then winning the ball back, I think the first time in the game that Germany actually felt the pressure. They were feeling a bit inferior, they were not able to get the ball, and India was able to do what their game plan was, and it was executed to perfection. But yes, as the screen reads, at halftime it is Team India 1, Team Germany 1. It's the first game out of the 5 games that we have today. Lokmanu, looking at the first half, what are your thoughts? What went wrong for Team India with the goal, and what went right for us when it comes to scoring the goal?
Yeah, I think India was just unlucky with the goal, to be honest. But yeah, we had a slow start. I'm not going to deny that. We should have kept the ball a bit more. We sort of lost possession very cheaply at the start. But I think ever since that goal happened, India took control of the ball. And the goal we scored was a tactical masterclass, really, because Germany wasn't giving us a lot of space through the middle. But here's a chance for Germany. R9 inside the box. Good tackle there. Had to do it twice in order to get the ball away from the team in the black and white. And of course, Selvin, as I was saying earlier, there was not a lot of space for us to attack through the center. So India went the same with the same ideology as the Germans are doing at the moment, to go on the wings, play the pass inside, and then build up their attack. We successfully managed to do so, and now we see that the E-Tigers are holding on to the possession really well. I think it all comes down to the confidence, as I said last year when we were up by 2 goals against Poland. That is the kind of confidence we need against Germany, because every single point matters at this stage, and that's something that is very important on the first day.
Very well said, Lokmanu. I think considering that this is day 1 of of the main tournament, and we have 2 days with 10 games in total to play, I think your momentum based on how your day 1's results are give you a lot of hope, a lot of confidence, and it just changes everything going into day 2 and possibly also going in front. And there's R9 with a big shot, but Edwin van der Sar, as he has done throughout the play-ins, qualifiers and the playoffs, saving Team India once again. But here is Germany once again. What is up with Team India? They need to stop Germany's attacks, who are putting some mad pressure on India right now. Crossed him in again with the ball. Kylian Mbappe has options, can take a shot. He's going to cut it back, but Van der Sar once again making sure that the danger has been cleared. And look, Manu, these are not good signs for Team India.
Yeah, I mean, Germany are knocking on the door, really haven't given any time for the Tigers to breathe outside their box. Here's Kylian Mbappe, takes a shot, and that's the second goal for Germany. We could see that coming really in the last 5 minutes. It was quite difficult for Team India to get outside of their own box, and Germany using all their experience, all that aggression from Umut and Levi Finn that came into play, and unfortunately the E-Tigers are the back foot now. I think, Selvin, what has happened really is the way E-Tigers were coming back into this game at halftime, the momentum was shifting towards us, but the loss of possession really outside the box, lack of options, and as we see the E-Tigers are trying to switch formations now, we see a 4-2-2 formation. I think that's going to give us a bit more time on the ball with the build-up as well, because this formation is one of the classic formations, and it is very important now to start building up and not lose the ball in our own halves, because we all know this, especially the ones who play FIFA and especially the ones who study FIFA esports at the highest level, that once Germany and the likes of Sweden, Germany, Argentina, Brazil, they start putting in the press, I think that suffocates any team. So E-Tigers just have to beat the press, and they will have a lot of options from the wings, as they did at the end of the first half.
Well, absolutely agreed, Lokmanu. But the best thing about when it comes to a FIFA game is when you score once, you always go into the next set of minutes knowing that you can always score another goal, because if you can score one goal against a team, you always feel a little better that their defense can be opened up. And I think Team India, of course, capable of doing this to any country in the world, any team in the world, and it's going to resume now. Let's just hope whatever tactics, whatever game plans, whatever instructions they are choosing are going to work in their favor when it comes to both attack and defense. We kick off again with Team India on the ball, starting all over again with that 1-goal lead for Germany. And Team India know the importance of getting something from this game. And ideally, the preparations would always be to get a win in every game. But here's Germany. Look at them trying to kill this game off by taking those risks, by pressing and opening up gaps. But look, Manu, in this situation, Germany, of course, have a lot of experience. And what are you doing if you're playing for Team Germany right now?
That's a chance for India in the meantime. R9 takes a shot, and oh my god, what a block that is at the last second. Selvin, that could have been Team India's equalizer right there. And just when you were talking about Germany sitting back and taking the risk as well, India has done really well in pouncing at that opportunity. Socrates now in around the box. Good chance to play it to his fellow Brazilian R9, but just being shut out at the last second by the German E-national team. But yeah, Selvin, I think, like you rightly said, it's very important for us to use that space in order to score and build chances from the wings.
Well, yes, it is. And there's Team India once again on the ball. They've queued a pause out here. And look, Manu, this is going to be a very crucial phase. The last 20 minutes of the game. Another change in tactic for Team India. Are they going all out for this one?
Yeah, I think they have to go now because only 15 minutes are left in game. But here's Germany on the attack, plays it back to Rashford. Good defending by Ruben Diaz. Now all India has to do is obviously use their fullbacks in order to create more opportunities on the wings and try and look at those passes which are going to be crucial in order to break Germany's defense. As you can see, Selvin, now they're sitting way too deep in that 5 at the back. They're going to try their level best to see off this game. India, on the other hand, has a lot of options. They're doing it pretty well. We are confident that they can come back into this game. It's just a 1-goal difference. R9 around the box, but good tackle there from Wilfried Zaha for Germany, and they're on the break now. This is kind of a scary situation for Team India. They don't want Mbappe to run through like that. What a great tackle that is from Guardiola.
Big tackle out there, considering that Mbappe has been crucial for every team that he plays for when it comes to FIFA 23. But Team India out here, not looking to settle for anything less than some points out here. Let's go again. Kylian Mbappe has the ball. R9 with the ball now, and Buffon, out of all people, with that new card, is the one who's defended that chance. But I think that went out for a goal kick, unfortunately. But Team India will go all out now when it comes to their attack. As you can see, constant pressure is on. Now, Lokmanu, at this point of time, is Team India thinking of getting a draw, or are they thinking of just making sure that the GD stays at -1?
No, I don't think so, Selvin. The GD would matter in the first game, especially when it's -1. I think India, of course, has to go for the draw. Like I said earlier, every point is so crucial because there are 2 days of group stages. To everyone who's tuning in right now, India is playing in the red kit because we don't have our national team kit in this game, unfortunately, this year. So, going back to talking about the format, it is 2 days of group stages and the results count as they are at full time. So if India equalizes in this game, it will be counted as a draw and both the teams will share the spoils with a point each. However, if India wins this game, which I still feel, of course, is a long shot really, considering it's 83 minutes, we will get those 3 points. On the other hand, Germany, the way things stand, it's Germany taking away those 3 points really. But yeah, I think it's all about going constant pressure in the game, using those tactics, putting all the bodies forward and trying to score that equalizer. As you can see, a couple of pauses being made, a lot of changes has to be made really. It's the pressure, Selvin, when you're there, as much as cool as you like. When you're in that situation, all the pro players have that kind of an experience by then when you reach this big of a LAN event. But I think the nerves still get the better of you. So you need those pauses, full 90-second pauses, to calm yourself down, talk to your teammate, and decide what to do as your next strategy. So that's yeah.
Absolutely, Rokmanu. I mean, it's very true, and there's a reason why these players are playing out there, because they are used to such kind of a situation and they can deal with such kind of pressure. But Lokmanu, now since you were there last year as well, there are going to be times wherein things do not go your way. But I think we'll just talk about it because Mbappe is again inside the box, but well defended by Ruben Diaz. And coming back to what I was saying, there are going to be times wherein you feel there is a difference in opinion, especially when you have a pause queued. And what happens in this situation? Is this where the coach comes in, wherein he says, okay, this is what I feel, this is what I have noticed from being a spectator for this game, that this is what we need to do?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the coach's role is very important at halftime, at pauses, at the start of the game, and even at the end of the game when you're trying to rebuild for the next game, regardless of what the result has been. Because we are playing 5 matches today. The first one is about to get over. And with that being said, India has the last opportunity. There's +1 of stoppage time. Can the Tigers make a comeback in this? Thierry Henry plays it to Kylian Mbappe. R9 takes a touch, but that is not the best touch that the Brazilian was supposed to take. And India losing the first game to Germany, doing a very good job in order to keep it so close. And that last chance, Selvin, we look at the highlights now. This was a bit unlucky for Mbappe to get the ball, and Marcus Rashford making no mistakes for the Germans over there. And when it comes to India's equalizer, look at that beautiful cross from Paul Pogba, heads it down for R9, and bang, that's the equalizer for Team India. But then, of course, Germany piling on the pressure, Selvin, and as we saw, Kylian Mbappe shooting it onto the far post and scoring that goal. So that's full time. Germany 2, India 1. Time to regroup for the Tigers for the second game.
Time to regroup for sure, but I think for everybody watching in the chat, for everybody watching from their homes on a computer or a laptop or a phone, it is still time for us to make sure that we keep supporting Team India, and regardless of the result in the first game, we still have to believe in them. Remember, this similar thing happened when it came to our Asia-Oceania qualifiers. We lost the first game. We went on to win every game. I gave you all an example of Argentina's World Cup journey, and that's what can happen again as well. But an unfortunate loss to Germany, who maybe were a little better, but some things did not go our way. But as they say, we cannot really make any excuses at this stage. But the other results are here as well, Lokmanu. Germany with 3 points. The good thing for us is South Africa and Sweden have gone ahead and drawn their game, which means it's just 1 point for both of them. And just to let you guys know, 4 teams out of 6 qualify for the last 16. So Lokmanu, it's not as bad as we thought.
No, it of course isn't. As we see the results now, Israel has beaten Peru 4-0. And I was saying this earlier, Israel is one of the best teams in the world when it comes to their talent, as we all know about Yuval and Roy Feldman and all these players that are playing. So, of course, Peru getting dominated by Israel over there, that has given them the 3 points. So they're sitting at the top with Germany. But that draw between South Africa and Sweden, that is going to be so crucial, because if you are looking at the other matches as one nation, like we are looking at the other matches as India, it's good. The more number of draws, the better it is. We just have to get the result in the next game, because Sweden has drawn their game against South Africa. Now, if India ends up beating Sweden, that takes us to 3 points, and Sweden will still be at that 1 point. So the more the draws there are between other nations, the better it is, especially on day one, because every single point, as I said, adds to your tally, and 3 points, of course, is the best possible outcome for you.
Well, absolutely, Lokmanu, and as we see the results being updated, it's also something to note that we still have 9 more games to play, including another game against Germany. And until it's mathematically possible, I do not think there is any reason for Team India, the E-Tigers, and for all of us watching as fans to be upset about this loss that has come against Germany. Of course, Team India is going to be looking at things. As you said, it's time to regroup for them. And the updated tables, of course, Israel, because of that massive goal difference, of that 4-goal difference that they had, are right now on top of the group. Germany second, South Africa and Sweden follow because of that 0-0 draw. India in 5th, Peru in 6th right now, which is going to change for sure after the second game is done. Let's just take a look at the fixtures that we have. And of course, the next game, of course, is going to be South Africa versus Team India. And since we are on the screen right now, Lokmanu, I know that you know these guys personally, Kalen, Bianchi, and of course the entire South African roster. These guys have put South Africa on the map by their performance. Of course, Bish Bianchi, of course, we all know him for that amazing game against Yasser that he had a few years ago. And Kalen, of course, needs no introduction. Let's just talk about the opponent that we are coming up against and their strengths, their weaknesses, as per you.
Yeah, of course, as I said earlier, South Africa is one of the best duos when it comes to 2v2. As we've seen their progress throughout, they have taken Africa global. And whenever I speak to these guys, because I know them personally, they always say they work as a team. And as you saw that in the E-Club World Cup as well, they took Goliath Gaming to the top 8, which is a massive achievement indeed. And of course, the E-Tigers, as you see, both the players and the coach, they're all trying to figure out the best way possible in order to face this amazing South African side. But as much as we talk about South Africa, we have to talk about Team India and to see the kind of results that Saransh and Charanjot have had. As we see, even with their esports or godlike esports, they've done so well in the E-Club qualifiers, missing out by 1 game in order to make it to the E-Club World Cup. And they've done fantastically well in all these qualifiers when it comes to 2v2. They were the champions of the AIFF 2v2 challenge as well. And they've done so well in their individual seasons as well. So when you see all these results combined, Charanjot's individual results of qualifying for the FGS playoffs, that has to come back into their head. They have to realize how good they are, and one result cannot put them off. So I genuinely feel if they get their minds right again, they reset, they regroup, they can easily beat the South African side, no matter how good they are.
Well, absolutely. And I think, as I was saying, these guys are there for a reason. They've been there before for a reason. They are here today for a reason as well. They're used to this pressure. They're not really people who are going to crumble under that pressure thinking, oh no, I mean, we're representing a nation against some good players. I think when you play against Team India, looking at the confidence that our E-Tigers have, it's always the opponents who are under pressure. And talking about the opponents one more time, Lokmanu, it looks like Bianchi is not going to be playing this game.
Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting one, really. I think he's sitting this out, and Zaid April is going to be starting. We're still trying to figure out as to what is going to happen with Team India. Is it going to be Saki playing instead of Saransh, or is it going to be Saransh coming back? I think he's probably just gone for a bit, and I think he's going to come back. But it's all about playing together as a duo, right? It doesn't matter because 3 players are there in the team, and all the combinations between between them, all 3 of them, has to be well structured and they have to be well prepared. And I think South Africa is taking a gamble on this one, to be honest, because they have done such a good job in the E Club, both Bianchi and Kalen. But I think Zaid April is equally talented, and I think if he's taking the main stage alongside Kalen, it'll be an interesting one to watch. Probably they have seen something in India's gameplay. Probably they have seen something. That's why they have made that switch. But can we see the same thing from India as well, Salman? Who knows? I'm still speculating whether it's going to be Saransh or whether it's going to be Saksham playing, because it's a confusing one, really, the way they're taking some time to set up.
It is a confusing one indeed, and considering, of course, Lokmanu, that South Africa did not score a goal in the first game against Sweden. Maybe that's one of the reasons they've gone for that switch. But once again, we have the squad in front of us, key players, drafted players, and open pool players. We've spoken about them already, and I was just reading the comments in the chat. Guys, we have to continue cheering for Team India. There's a reason these are the best players, not just in India, not just in Asia, but also one of the best players in the entire world. Team India is ranked 6th out of the many nations that play FIFA. And Lokmanu, if you could talk us through the team South Africa that they have in game.
Yeah, absolutely. As I said this earlier, so key players are the ones that every team has. It doesn't matter if the other team has them as well. These players are the ones that are going to be key to you. And they've given FIFA, he has given you 3 slots for the same. So it's Pele, Mbappe and Van Dijk. For us, it's R9, which is the Brazilian Ronaldo, Mbappe and Van Dijk. So pretty much everyone has these same 3 players. Then when it comes to drafted players, these are the players that the member associations, the national teams choose that are only going to be exclusive to them. And you see the likes of Hakimi, one of the best right backs in the game. When it comes to his Team of the Year card, we've got Theo Hernandez, Ousmane Dembele, Zinedine Zidane, of course, one of the most favoured icons by all these professional FIFA players. We've got Kimpembe, Renato Sanchez, Olivier Giroud, and Patrick Vieira. Olivier Giroud, of course, with his new card that has come out, the centre-back card, really. So it adds a bit of fun element to the esport as well, Selvin, at the highest level, because we're seeing Hugo Lloris playing as a centre mid, we're seeing Petr Cech playing as a striker, we're seeing Pogba as a winger. I mean, all these interesting cards that have come out in the game because of the FIFA Ultimate Team mode, it has given viewers to enjoy new players playing in different positions, and the pro players are making the most of that. Selvin, I'd love for you to talk about the open pool players. Of course, we're both familiar with all these players that are there, but I think I'll let you have this one.
Well, thank you, Lokmanu, and thank you for again explaining about the drafted players and the key players. Of course, the open pool players, we can see a lot of them, but I think the highlights for me are going to be João Felix, Thierry Henry, Emiliano Martinez. I'm assuming he's not going to be playing in goal. I think Klosterman is going to be somebody who's starting, as he started for Germany and India both. Camavinga, Paul Pogba once again, Guardiola, who played in midfield. Schweinsteiger is going to be an interesting pick. Rafael Leao, again, as you said, is going to be a player to watch, and Edwin van der Sar. And they have some more names out there, and I think it's going to be pretty great for South Africa with the team that they have. It's a very balanced team. And just before we go ahead, guys, considering that this is a global stream and the rights are in English, the stream is going to be continuing in English itself. We love Team India, of course, and we are going to support them. Language is not really a barrier for us. And Lokmani, I think we have the answer for the switch that we were talking about. It looks like it's going to be Charanjot and Saransh once again for this game. And Saksham clearly giving his insights and the experience based on what they feel should be the right team plan. Now, Lokmanu, before we go ahead into the game, this is the time that I wanted to talk to you about. This is a very crucial time. You've just lost a game. There are players next to you, and there are a lot of discussions happening. What is the situation like at this point? Are there any disagreements? Are there any agreements? Are there things that people don't, feel like this is right, this is wrong? What exactly goes on at this point out there?
Yeah, I think if there is no disagreement, then I think there's no room for improvement. If there's something that has happened, either you've just been way too unlucky and the way that you've played is really good. I think that's what the Tigers are talking about. I think that we've done well in the first game about some things, but there are some things which aren't right. So the people who are sitting back, as you can see, the likes of Saksham and Jana Sid sitting behind, both of them can see there are some things and they're letting Charanjot and Saransh know. So I think there are agreements on a lot of things to be positive and keep playing. Like I said earlier, they have to recall all those achievements they've had to even reach this level, being the champions of Asia and Oceania. And of course, like I mentioned, Saransh and Charanjot being teammates at Godlike Esports right from the start of the season. I think they've done really well. So they just have to sort of get back into their zone. And with all the inputs that is given by both our coach and our third player, I think it's going to be very, very crucial going into this game. And also, just to let the viewers know, I see a lot of messages talking about, so what's there in their hands is called hand warmers, because it's very cold inside the venue. They have these hand warmers that they shake a bit, and that gives them some warmth in their hands, because otherwise if your hand gets too cold, it's kind of difficult to play. So I understand, of course, FIFA esports is new for a lot of people in the stream, but this is very important to esports athletes in general to keep themselves warm before a game.
Thank you so much for that information, Lokmanu. I think it was much needed. And I mean, a lot of people, of course, who have not competed professionally would really not understand why is esports such a big thing, or why is India reaching this tournament such a big thing. I think I should just let you all know in general that until the FIFA 20 season, the end of FIFA 20 season, India was not really known in the global scene when it comes to FIFA competitive gaming. From FIFA 21 is when we got eligible to compete at events by EA Sports, multiple events. And once we got eligible, I think there was no looking back. And considering that we started 3 years back and right now we're ranked 6th in the world, it's something to celebrate about. And hopefully by the end of this week, we'll have some more reasons to celebrate. Not just a higher ranking, but also hopefully a trophy and a great performance by these guys. But Lokmanu, the last 3 years have been absolutely crucial for Team India when it comes to esports in FIFA. Talk to us about these years before this match starts.
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's been a fantastic journey, really. I think it's about time, because today is the day when a lot of people have tuned in to watch FIFA eSport tournament that is being played at the highest level. And especially with us being 6th in the world, I think it's all the more reason for us to talk about how we got there. So India wasn't even eligible to compete until 2021. And we had players like Charanjot, Saransh and Sid and Saksham that you see, and obviously a lot more other pro players that have worked tirelessly for us to get to this level. I think it's all about how much time you put in behind the scenes. And fast forward that 2 years down the line, we've had domestic championships, we've had national team competitions, we've had a national team selection 2 years ago, and then we've progressed through that, getting to the E-Nations Cup last year, being amongst the top 24 nations in the world, this time being the champions of Oceania, and that has taken us to we're ranked 6th in the world. That is massive, really. Imagine, with all that talent that's out there in the world, Team India is 6th in the world. So we actually need to support our E-Tigers right from the start till the end now, because it's sort of becoming global. It's coming to the level of other esport titles which are very popular now, Selvin. And you, of course, being an influencer level with what you do as well, you've got such a huge following of yourself, and you know what I'm talking about, the kind of support these E-Tigers need at the highest level. So I think just before the game starts, it's very important for them to let that sink in themselves, that they are the nation's pride, and they have to just keep going and perform at the highest level regardless of the result.
Very well said, Lokmanu. And I think I am going to use an example of Sunil Chhetri out here. A few years back, he was seen very emotional in a video wherein he requested everyone from India to support Indian football so that it does not die. And fast forward some years later, we can see the wonders that the coach, that the team, the coaching staff has worked, and Team India, of course, recently won the SAFF championships with some great heroics by the entire team. Sunil Chhetri, of course, leading from the front. And that's what we need to do for esports as well. We just need to make sure that, we keep supporting, and that's going to be, it's going to pay, it's going to be great someday in the future for sure. Let's just hope the future is now. And Team India and Team South Africa are waiting for the game. So Lokman, you've just got an update that we are going to head into a short break. There is a slight delay with this game to start. We're just waiting for this game to start. So please do not go anywhere. We'll be back very soon on the other side.
All right, so we're back with the game. This was a short delay, of course, as we saw the technical delay, but we're back with the game. And we are about to kick off match between South Africa and India. This is, of course, a massive, massive game. You see both the teams preparing, and here we go. The game kicks off between South Africa and India. South Africa playing from left to right in their black kit, whereas Team India are going to stick to their red kit. So we all know they're playing in that. Good snatch away from Guardiola. R9 straight on the attack. It's going to be a massive game really for both the teams, as South Africa ended with a draw, 1 point. India does not have points on the table just yet. Henry plays it back to Guardiola, gets it back. Good chance there, but South Africa doing a decent job at the back in order to hold off that attack from Team India.
Okay, the game has started between India and South Africa, and it's going to be a crazy game. India again in the red kit, South Africa in the black kit. Look, Manu, what are your predictions for this one?
Yeah, I think, Selvin, it's going to be a close affair. My prediction, of course, is going to be a little biased towards the Tigers. I'm going to say a 2-1 win for them. I'm pretty sure they have a plan of action when it comes to playing against South Africa, especially with the result they had against Germany. They would want to be a bit more aggressive going forward, and we'd love for the Tigers to get a goal as soon as possible, really.
Absolutely, Lok Manu. Considering the fact that South Africa have a point, but they've still not scored a goal in this game, I think they're the ones who are going to be looking to score that first goal, and that's what they have in mind here. But good goalkeeper movement, I'm assuming, there by our Tigers. Van der Sar holding it safely, and Pogba now with the ball on a very unusual left wing, plays it in the center. Now we have some options, and Team India, of course, will look to attack South Africa. And if I'm not wrong, Team India and South Africa have played before, and these players do know about their game styles, and I think that's going to be a big factor in this game, isn't it?
Yeah, of course. I mean, Saranjot and Saransh, as we know, have known the South African team in and out. They're, I think, friends off the pitch. I personally know the South African team really well, and they're amazing people. And obviously, there's not going to be a surprise in their game style, because all these teams have somehow practiced against each other. Obviously, not the ones in the same group, but they know of each other's results in the practice sessions, and they know of each other's games throughout the years. So it doesn't come as a surprise as to what they do. Obviously, it does when you do something special on a match day, and that is what defines you as a player. But here's India, the ball with Paul Pogba, but good defending there from South Africa to take the ball away.
Great defending indeed, and you can look that both these teams are not really willing to take that risk, which may lead up to a counter, or which may lead up to at least a chance for the opponent team, and that's going to be very crucial. You want to score the first goal, but at the same time you don't want to concede, and that's what South Africa had in mind. I think their idea is clear, Lokman. They want to go and try everything. They want to take those long shots. They want to go for that surprise element and try to catch Team India off guard.
Yeah, I mean, we saw a goal. I think I personally was watching the other group games, and I remember there was a goal being scored by Kevin De Bruyne from so far away. I think we've seen South Africa try that a couple of times now. And it's all about trying till you succeed, really, because they've not been able to penetrate India's defense up until now. So they're trying these long shots just to surprise the Tigers from a long distance, and then eventually make them commit players. That's a good chance. Great defending there by Van Dijk, standing tall. And brilliant defending. Here's Kylian Mbappe on the run. What a sprint that is from him down the byline. Does he have the space to cut back in? But Giroud with some fantastic defending. That was so close, Selvin. And here's a corner for Team India now.
Well, that was a great moment to see. Mbappe running at you was going to be frightening for everyone, and Team India had another scare to offer for Team South Africa, who dealt with it pretty well. And here's Thierry Henry now with the ball in the center, gets it back. It's like a 1-2 with Team India for him. And Van Dijk now plays it to Zidane, who is going to try and play that ball. But Team India with the ball again. R9 Now, this can be the moment for Team India. Pogba looking to create some magic like he did in that first game. Thierry Henry has given the ball away to his fellow Frenchman Zidane, and another Frenchman out here, Kylian Mbappe, possibly the most ruthless out of these three. Is on the ball, and I think Mbappe is going to be a player to watch out for, isn't it, for both these teams?
Yeah, I mean, Selvin, both of us know he always is. You and I have casted on games where he's done some magic for the teams we've faced, and for us, of course, above everything. And he is going to be that player. He's going to be so crucial for both these nations, actually. But here's a chance for South Africa now. Pele, one of their key players, good snatch there from Team India. Can R9 do something? Socrates plays the ball back to R9, plays it out to Paul Pogba. Can Team India make something out of this? Thierry Henry, the French connection, as I'd like to call it, both of them combined together, plays it to Socrates now. Has a chance. R9 in and around the box, takes a very bad touch. That's just a little unlucky. And that has given South Africa a breakthrough with Osman Dembele. India has to stop him because he has a lot of space to play into. Klosterman with an important interception there, Selvin.
A very important interception, and that was as good as scoring a goal. Like, the celebrations would have been equal. But here's Zidane once again, Team India, making sure that they are anticipating South Africa's moves. But then that can be a little too risky because they have been trying to surprise Team India out by not taking a shot at times, waiting for the right moment. And Dembele once again has a great weak foot as well. And now here goes South Africa again. What's up with Team India's touches in this game? R9, for example, Lokmanu. I think the last touch against Germany let us down. And this touch, when we had the counter open, let us down again. Looks like some game mechanics that have changed or something like that for R9.
Yeah, I think it could be. It's sometimes an off day for you when it comes to taking your touch as well. We've seen this over time with all the pro players. It's not just with the E-Tigers. I think it's with a lot of people really in the pro scene. As you see South Africa going back and Bianchi explaining it to them as to what you could have done better, and you see Sid Chandrana also on his coach's iPad trying to see what you have to do better. I think there's something that Team India needs to spot as well, that you have to take your touches and you have to play the pass early, because sometimes in the game as well, Selvin, what happens is that you try and force it a bit. You try and take a touch thinking, oh, it's okay, but in a flash the opponent's player is trying to press you, and that is not good for you, both in your own half and in the opponent's half as well. So I think just got to play a bit faster, like what India did against Germany in the last stages of the first half. So that is going to be extremely crucial going into the second half in this game against South Africa.
Absolutely, Lokman. And I think that's some good analysis out there. And talking about some good analysis, looks like Bianchi has some great analysis for Team South Africa. He has noticed a pattern which he spoke about to the South African team, who've now won the ball in a very dangerous situation. Mbappe is in on goal, and that is going to be collected by Van der Sar. Heart and mouth moment for me, for every Team India supporter, and of course for the E-Tigers. But then again, showing the composure, showing why exactly they are here. A lot of people in this position may have conceded.
Yeah, I think that that recovery was much needed, Selvin, because I actually couldn't believe it as to what happened there. That is not the level that these players are playing. They're used to playing, unfortunately. So these mistakes happen, and it was amazing the way they bounced back in order to stop that chance, bringing out the goalkeeper. But now they have to build on this because South Africa has the possession and they're trying to. Well, I think the commentators' curse really, Selvin, worked in our favor, and Team India has won the ball again. That happened. So it's been back and forth really between South Africa. That's a chance for them to head it inside. Oh my goodness, what a chance this was. And luckily for Team India, they escape with that sort of situation. But here's the ball with the Tigers now. Paul Pogba trying to play out from the wings. And they just don't have to lose the possession in the midfield, Selvin, because that is happening quite often. India just needs the first goal, really, because South Africa has not scored a single goal in the last game as well. But hold on a minute. That's a chance for Paul Pogba for the Tigers. Thierry Henry plays it to Kylian Mbappe, but intercepted right at the end. Selvin, this is a very close game indeed.
It is a very close game indeed, and that big chance for South Africa and a big warning for Team India at the other end, and Team India almost made them pay. But you can understand that milliseconds of time that you get for decision making, whether to take a shot, whether to take a touch, whether to cut back, whether to pass. It happens in a split second. Like, for us watching as viewers, it seems to be pretty easy. It seems like, why did he not just pass it back? Why did he not just take a shot? But whatever is happening right there is happening, like a lot of things happening together, which is why, this game is so tight right now, considering that there are 4 players playing and there are multiple things happening at the same time. Here is Mbappe, who finds Pogba again, and Team India, of course, looks like they have a clear game plan. Lokmani, they want to attack from the left hand side, they want to stick to what's working, and maybe, just maybe, we're going to have some changes in the tactics right now for both these teams. They're playing similar formations as well, if you notice, Lokmani.
Yeah, as we see, both of them are like, as you see for the E-Tigers, they are playing the 3-4-2-1. Of course, it's a formation that is widely preferred by a lot of people. Same is the case with South Africa. It gives you a balance between, while defending, you can actually make it a 5 at the back, and while attacking, you've got 8 attackers basically. If you look at things, 7-8 attackers going forward for you. And sometimes a lot of players in the game, like all these pro FIFA players, start triggering their center backs also, which makes a run all the way from defense to attack, while the other player is taking the ball to the byline and crossing it in, and that's called the German cross, really. So I think that's been the case. Oh, hold up, there's a substitution now that Kalen is going out and Jules Bianchi is coming in, and we haven't really seen that a lot when it comes to games. I mean, last year I did see some myself, but this is an interesting one. It's just like a real life substitution where one of the players has gone out. So it's Kalen out, Bianchi in alongside Zaid April, and let's see how this works out for South Africa. Can India actually capitalize on this? Because Bianchi might not be as warmed up as Kalen was, Selvin.
Well, absolutely. Now, this is going to be a crucial one, because considering that Team India may not really know if there's a substitution that has taken place, unless, of course, they have been informed of the same. But regardless, I think this is a great concept. We saw it in the Group A or Group B game today, wherein something similar was done, and it did work out in their favor. Of course, I mean, the team had already won the game, but still, I think this is a great concept. But yes, Bianchi looked like he had something in mind to offer, and that's what he has in mind. Yeah, that's a big tackle. And Team India survive another scare against South Africa. This is the 3rd time now that Team India have survived. Chance after chance for South Africa. And Team India have to thank their lucky stars and have to work on doing things right in their favor. Too many missed opportunities. It can prove fatal, Lokmanu.
Yeah, it can indeed, but here's a chance for India. If they score this first goal, I think all the pressure is going to be on South Africa and all the momentum is going to be taken away. Ronaldinho, we've seen both Charanjot and Saranj be deadly from this position. A finesse shot from Socrates with his left foot, but a simple save really at the end of the day for Van der Sar. These kind of positions, Selvin, that Saranj and Charanjot specifically get into are so deadly for the opponent. Again, great snatch in the middle of the park. Can they make something out of this? Guardiol plays it out to Rudiger. His new card in the Shapeshifters promo has given him the opportunity to go and play forward. Nice pass there, but Bruno Fernandes offside. 77 minutes are up on the clock, Selvin. I think whoever scores a goal now is most likely winning this game, or we could end up seeing like a last minute goal really for either of the teams.
I mean, I'm going to be very honest with you. Even though we are casters out here, since we are here for Team India, I would love it, absolutely love it, if it's Team India who goes on to score the goal right at the end. But this is a game of FIFA, and anything can happen at any time. Looking at what just happened out there, Mbappe winning that header, but luckily Team India managing to block it out, and the ball is still in play. Pogba has given it to Mbappe, won back by Klosterman, and these are some crucial times. Team India lost that game against Germany in a similar position, if you remember, and now they are going to try and build up right again from this left side. Thierry Henry has options. But Van Dijk with the tackle, that's a penalty. It is in Team India's favour. It's a penalty. Lokmanu, you're going to take it over from here.
Yes, that's a penalty for Team India. Can Thierry Henry score this one? They do, straight down the middle. And just when we got the penalty, Selvin, I was going to say this. I was actually going to shout that what a massive moment this is for the E-Tigers. And at the 82nd or the 83rd minute, Team India has just scored from a penalty, and these are going to be massive 3 points if they capitalize on this. So much composure shown by the penalty taker, whoever it was, between Charanjot and Saransh. And I can see now that the chat is absolutely buzzing. And I would love to see our national flag being spammed in the chat, because this is a huge moment, one of the best ways to support your E-Tigers and getting 3 points from this. Selvin, so cool as a cucumber, really, that penalty. Even at this stage, I mean, there's so much of pressure, and they made it look really simple. What a moment this is, really.
What a moment indeed. Lokmanu, I do not want to lie to you, because I know these guys personally, because I know you guys personally, and because I was a professional player back in my day. You know how tough is it to take that penalty. You know when things are not going your way and you have one chance to make it right. You don't want to be the person who wants to make everything go wrong. You don't want to be the person missing the penalty. But Team India and the E-Tigers, I mean, both these guys, I mean, all 4 of them out there, of course, I just knew they're going to go ahead and score from this penalty. But to do that in such a pressure situation, hats off to these guys. But right now, I think it's time for them to hold on to this lead, because South Africa is going to come all guns blazing, and they're going to try and do whatever possible to get that goal back and possibly at least get something from this game. But here's Team India on the attack again. Manuel Neuer on the ball, out of all people, and he is going to try and work something out, and that's going to be won back by Team South Africa. But my heart goes out to Team South Africa. A very soft penalty to concede after playing this way. Of course, we know we have some people from South Africa in the chat as well. Last attack, Lokmanu, South Africa. India has to stop this. Guardiola plays it to Leao, the player to watch out for, who takes a shot, but that's gone wide, and I think that's a corner. Lokmanu, take it over.
Yeah, I mean, such a crucial block that was right at the end, but South Africa are not done yet. Virgil van Dijk tries to play that inside, but Team India has seen this out successfully, and that's the first win for the Tigers in this group stage, day 1 of the FIFA E-Nations Cup 2023. I genuinely feel bad for the South Africans over there because of that penalty and then that missed chance, but massive kudos to Team India for seeing that out. Selvin, as we got the penalty, look at that finish right down the middle. What a beautiful penalty that was. And I'd say that because it's one of the toughest to actually do that, to go down the center when you know that it turns out to be a bit embarrassing if you miss it. But that last tackle there on Rafael Leao for the South African, Selvin, it was so crucial. Heart in the mouth moment, really, for the Tigers over there. For us as casters as well, because South Africa, I think, didn't actually deserve that loss, so to say, in terms of the penalty being a soft one. But a game is a game, and E-Tigers did all they had to do to win this one. And that's how you win. I mean, that competitive mindset. It doesn't matter how you win. It does not matter how you get those 3 points. What matters is that you do. So a fantastic win for us in our second game.
Incredible indeed, Lokmanu. And I think, as you just said, we have some days wherein we play well and we lose. We have some days where we don't play at our best, but we still win. And as a competitive FIFA player, as a competitive team, I think, we need to make sure that we appreciate both these days and go ahead one day at a time. But for everyone from South Africa who are watching, I mean, we as Team India, of course, respect all our opponents. It was a tough loss to take. And as Lokmanu said, it was not a deserved loss for you guys. But right now, Sweden and Israel with a draw. Lokmanu, that's great news. We look at the table soon. Germany and Peru with a draw. I'm hoping that's full time. South Africa 0, India 1, which means there's going to be a massive change in the table. And that's going to be crazy because Israel is on 4, Germany is on 4, India, Lokmanu, now is on 3, and that's touching distance, of course. Sweden still waiting for their first win is on 2, and it's going to be India versus Sweden next. South Africa and Peru 1-1 each. What are your thoughts about those other results as well?
Yeah, I think I said this earlier, Selvin, as you rightly said. India coming to the third position. And I said this earlier that draws are really good, really, really good for you when you're seeing it as one nation, right? When you see those results as Team India, when I see those other results, I'm so happy because Germany ended up drawing their game against Peru. Sweden ended up drawing their game against Israel. I mean, it's fantastic, really, because now India plays Sweden, as you guys can see. That we play our third game of the day against the fourth ranked nation in the world. Now, Selvin, they are struggling because they haven't had the opportunity to win a match in the last two games that they've played in this tournament, and you don't really expect that from the likes of Sweden. So this is India's chance to even if we get a draw, that's such a good result because that keeps us in the top three regardless of whatever happens. So I think beating South Africa was an important one. The other draws were very, very crucial to us. And as we see the table again now, Selvin, I think the games that are left, it's sort of good for us because, yeah, Israel is, of course, a tough game for us, but then Sweden is standing in our way first. So it'll be an interesting watch, really. I just don't want to make any predictions regarding the table, regarding the points. It just feels really good to see India sitting at number 3 at the moment, even though, yes, we did lose to Germany by a goal. But that result against South Africa was so crucial, and it's going to give us all the confidence and motivation we need for the upcoming games.
Well, absolutely, Lokman. It was going to give us a lot of confidence and a lot of motivation. I think everybody in the chat is going to support Team India as well. Let us see those Indian flags being spammed in the chat. I think just as Lokman you said, we're going to get a lot of confidence, a lot of motivation. But along with that, we're also going to be taking a small break to re-energize ourselves. We'll be back very soon before the start of the third game. Please do not go anywhere. We'll be back very soon.
All right, I think we're back now with the match feed in front of us. Sweden versus India. This is a massive game. E Tigers coming off the back of winning the last game against South Africa. What a goal that was, really, from the penalty. Cool as you like, as a cucumber, really. And like I said earlier, it's not easy to score a penalty straight down the middle when you're playing at that level. But Sweden, of course, drawing the last two games, are, as you see, there's a lot of tension in their camp, whereas the E Tigers, of course, a little animated and motivated to go for this game. Now, when it comes to the E Tigers, they have, like I said earlier, has done a fantastic job in order to come back from situations like this, and this has given them a lot of confidence because every point matters in this. I think we have Selvin as well back with us. Selvin, what are your thoughts going into this next game? Because Sweden still does not have a point on the table, and they'll be looking for that desperately.
Very true, Lokmanu. And I think one of the worst things that you can think if you're Sweden is that you do not want to play Germany or India in a game that is going to be like a must win game for them, because another draw or a loss in this game is going to dent their confidence a lot. And we just talk about that once again. We have the squads in front of us, key players, drafted players, open pool players. I mean, we've spoken about them multiple times, so I think we'll not really repeat it. I'm just loving the support and the energy in the chat that we have for Team India. Let's just continue supporting Team India. And we'll also take a look at the squad for Team Sweden, who are going to be playing. And whilst we'll take a look at the squad, of course, we have some great names out there, Lokmanu. Once again, R9, Mbappe, Van Dijk as the key players. Now, this is what we were waiting for. The drafted players: Ruud Gullit, Frankie de Jong, Neymar, Martial, Marquinhos, Bamba, Eto, and Ibrahimovic. Look at that quality. Look at that talent for the drafted players, along with the open pool players that you have. I mean, what are your thoughts about this squad?
Yeah, of course. I mean, apart from the key players, as we've already discussed, that is available for every nation, and these players can be there in the other nations' teams as well. The drafted players are specific to every country that other countries can't have. And when you see the first name on that list, kind of gives you the ick, really, because when you see the name of Ruud Gullit in front of you, every person who's played FIFA Ultimate Team knows how good Ruud Gullit is in the game. He's 6'4". He's a massive presence in the midfield, one of the best FUD cards to use, really. And Sweden has that alongside the fellow Dutchman Frankie de Jong with his new card. And you see the likes of Neymar. Now, that team of the season, Neymar is a very good player. Anthony Martial as well, the new Shapeshifters card, is 97 rated in game, very good. Marquinhos, a very good player again. So when you see those names on the list, of course, gives you that thing that Sweden are well prepared. But interesting one, really. Olilito is not playing in this game. It's actually Optole and Oli Boli that are starting for Sweden. And it's the same pairing for the E Tigers. That is Charanjot and Saranj. And we kick off. India playing from left to right in their red kit, as we've seen in the last two games. And Sweden is in their yellow kit, playing from right to left. And here's straight away a chance for Sweden. Van Dijk takes a shot. But good for Team India that it ended up being offside, really. Sweden, of course, being a little too aggressive, Selvin, at the start of this game.
Well, absolutely, Lokmanu, and I think they have every right to do that. I think I'm not very sure about what happened in their other few games, but it looks like they've changed the team just for the same reason. I'm very sorry if there is any delay with the output. This is the feed that we are getting directly from Riyadh in Saudi Arabia right now, and India have conceded a goal. Sweden's approach has worked for them. Olilito from the back looking to be very happy, but these two players, Oli Boli and Optole, getting the first goal. We did not really get to see the goal, unfortunately, because of the stream issues from Riyadh. But a very unfortunate start for Team India, Lokmanu.
Yeah, I think apologies for the technical delays there. Like Selvin said, rightly said, we are getting some technical difficulties from the stream itself. But I think the way they scored was a step over boost from R9 for Sweden, and that's how they get their first goal. We kind of skipped that part. But if we do watch the highlights, we will be able to see eventually how it went in. But that's not a good start for the Tigers, and they have to bounce back. They are making that attack. Paul Pogba on the wings, trying to cut back inside, plays it back to Thierry Henry, tries to play that pass towards his midfielder, but just not enough there. And Sweden again on the counter. And this is actually a very good start for Sweden, and they like to build on it. However, Team India now has to make a comeback into this game as soon as possible. And here's Kylian Mbappe for Sweden now. Takes a shot, and oh my goodness, what a beautiful finish that was from Kylian Mbappe. That tap finish, as they call it, grounded shot, just smoothly going into the far post, and E-Tigers have to deal with a double blow from Sweden now. Selvin, this is not looking good, but I think there's still a lot of time left. E-Tigers, even if they get one goal back in the first half, I think they could just come back into this game real quickly.
I just hope they do, because all credits, I mean, of course, to Sweden. Their game plan has worked out to perfection. But here's Team India with R9 inside the box. There's no space whatsoever. There are around 9 players are there, but Team India go for the shot. But Courtois equal to it, easily handling it. But Sweden, of course, that second goal was a work of art, and that finish, of course, a little soft and a little difficult to see. But they've lost the ball here, and Team India not taking that risk by keeping the ball in midfield, and Sweden now have bodies back where they need it. But Team India, of course, know that it's all about going for it, and Courtois with another big save. That's going to be a corner which Bruno Fernandes is going to take, has R9 with him, chooses to go for him, and R9 now tries to put the ball inside. Lokman, looks like this is going to be a mountain to climb for Team India.
Yeah, I mean, those were some good chances created by Team India over there. As again, apologies for that fast forward. It's just the feed, really. But don't worry, we still got you covered in terms of telling you what's happening during that time. But yeah, Selvin, going back to what you said about making those chances, really, India has done a good job in taking a couple of long shots, trying to penetrate Sweden's defense. Have not been able to do that, unfortunately, right now, as they have too many bodies protecting Sweden's goal. And India just has to be very patient and not make any mistakes when it comes to their own defense, because Sweden is going to take all their time. As you see the switch from the left side to the right side, they're going to do that until they find an opening in the middle of the pitch. And India has to be very patient, because Sweden, like I said, ranked 4th in the world with a lot of experience. They compete in Europe as well, and that is the toughest region to play in. So I think India just has to keep their composure, have to stick to their game plan of coming back into this game. Otherwise, it is going to be a very long game for the Tigers.
It can indeed end up being a long game for the E-Tigers. And of course, considering the fact that Olelito is not even playing, but here is R9 again, who takes a shot and hammers it in. Whatever could go wrong for Team India in this game has gone wrong. That's a very bad way to concede a goal if you're Team India, considering that they did everything right out there by trying to block it. But the only place where the ball should not have landed, I think it shows the path that India did not want. But at the end of the day, there's nothing that can be changed right now. It's 3-0 already to Sweden. And Team India looking for an answer. They are discussing something. They're just trying to see. I mean, I think from the body language, you can see they're saying that they're not doing anything wrong out there, but it's just not going their way.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little difficult when you concede a goal like that, losing the ball cheaply around your box. I mean, it's not something you want to see as a pro FIFA player, especially when you're representing your country at the highest level. Uh, it's not a good-looking situation, but we know Charanjot and Saranch. We know what they're capable of going forward. I think it is a mountain to climb, really. The odds are not. The odds are sort of against them. It's nothing's going in their favor at the moment, but they have to play a little faster. The kind of way they were making chances against South Africa as well in a couple of instances where we saw in the first half, Selvin, in the last game. But this is something that's so crucial, that India now has to take a pause. I think that's a very good decision, to try and cue a pause, change formation, see what's going to work for them. This is something I was going to talk about to you, Selvin. As we saw this, both of us were casting the games for Team India as well during the build-up of these of the FIFA Nations Cup 2023, is that they like to resort to the 4-1-2-1-2 narrow formation. You and I have both seen a lot of it that has actually helped us get those goals, and I think Team India is sort of going to that now. Do you think it's going to work for them? Because it is a very risky one, but I think it's worth taking the risk, because in a single-legged game, when the game finishes at 90 minutes and there's no second leg that you have, I think it's worth the risk, really.
It is worth the risk for sure, Lokmanu, and I do not know if it's going to work for them. But as things stand, nothing is working for them. So let's just hope that this decision that they're taking of going into 4-1-2-1-2 for the attack would, of course, give them a little bit of hope. But let's be very honest, they're playing against a team which is ranked fourth in the world, and there is a reason why they are ranked fourth. And just before the match starts, Lokmanu, I think I'm just going to tell you about this. I was watching the Swedish guys' interviews, like, before the match started, and they were discussing about how difficult things get because they play for different clubs. Of course, All Elito, one of the foot champs winners from previous seasons, plays for Team Hullet and Ninjas in Pyjamas, along with Levy from the Netherlands, and Oli Bolly plays for a different club. So there is a lot of change in mentality, there is a lot of change in play styles, which is why it gets difficult for them in back-to-back tournaments when it comes to 2v2. And I think having the third option in Optole has absolutely helped them because both these guys have been to a different level this time, and Team India may be prepared for All Elito, and Optole has just taken them out by a storm.
Yeah, no, I think, Selvin, you're absolutely on point with this. The factor of playing with two different teams throughout the season has a massive impact when you represent your nation. But why these guys are so good is because they're able to adapt so quickly to each other's gameplay, which is why, like I said earlier, Europe is the toughest region because the adaptability of every player with each other is so good. Now, while we talk about that, here's E-Tigers with a chance. Klosterman, great bit of fake, tries to take a shot, but once again, Sweden with all the players. I think these are some of the top Jose Mourinho tactics that they're implying in FIFA 23, really, in order to just sit back and hold their lead. Once again, Klosterman on the wings, tries to cross it in. R9 does not manage to win that header. Klosterman once again. Henri Socrates, good bit of build-up from Team India. They need a goal before this half ends to have any chance to come back into this game. Good pass from Socrates. R9 takes a shot, and what a save that is from Thibaut Courtois. The Belgian saving the Swedish national team, really. What an incredible save. That was the best chance India has had in this game, Selvin. And that's a corner. Will this be the moment where Team India gets their first goal? Nkunku with some nice dribbling. Van Dijk plays it back to Nkunku. We're seeing some nice build-up here. The confidence is sort of flowing with the Tigers. Can they make the most of it? It's been such a good build-up, Selvin, but I think Sweden is just gonna clear the ball out for the first half. What a last. Those 5 minutes were incredible, really, from the Tigers. Lots of positivity indeed.
Yes, indeed. But unfortunately for Team India, Courtois, of course, making that save, which could have made it 3-1. I mean, would have not made a big difference. But as they say, it takes every drop to make an ocean. And that could have been the start of something epic, of something, of a comeback or something. But right now, you can see the body language of Team India. They look a little disappointed. And Sweden, I mean, you can look at them. They know Team India has the caliber, has the potential, and has everything that a professional team should have to make a comeback, and they're not going to take this lightly. But here we go with the start of the second half. Lokmanu, all to play for. Just to remind the audience, this is not a knockout tournament right now. At least we're in the group stage. After this, there are 6 more games to go. Today we're going to play a total of 5 games, out of which 2 have been played, and we have still 2 more games to go after this one. So it's still a long way to go. We still have to continue supporting our team. But right now, here is Sweden on the attack once again, looking to develop from this game. And everything is just going their way. Luckily, not a penalty conceded by Team India. And Team India just looking for an answer right now against the Swedish attack and the Swedish press, who are taking Team India by a storm. It's getting very difficult for them, Lokmanu.
Yeah, it is indeed. I mean, we've seen this from time to time as what the Tigers do is they try and come back into this game when they go down by a goal or 2. But it's the experience of the Swedish national team, really, that they're trying to see out the game, trying to manage possession really well. Something has to change in this game, really. And the Tigers will start seeing the results. As we saw, the end of the first half showed a lot of positivity. And Team India are still in this. They're not out of this game yet, because here's a chance for Nkunku. Can they make the most of it? Just a bit too much dribbling around Hugo Lloris. And as I said, Selvin, we're going to be seeing the likes of Hugo Lloris, Manuel Neuer, Petr Cech, all these goalkeepers in real life playing in the outfield positions because of the new promo that has come out, which is the Shapeshifters, making it really exciting for the pro players themselves to use and, of course, for the audience to watch. I mean, to the ones who don't play FUT is obviously something different for them. But here's a chance for Sweden now. India manages to take the ball away, and that's one more chance. 60 minutes on the clock, Selvin. We need one more goal. We need actually the first goal, indeed, to make a comeback in this game, because time is running out for the Tigers now.
Well, looks like time is running out, and every second that passes by looks to be very agonizing for us watching as well as Team India fans. But you're Sweden once again. I think India with beautiful anticipation are there. Van Dijk already knew that there was going to be a cutback that's going to come in, and unfortunately we've given the ball away. Henry now has a lot of support but takes a lot of time to make a decision. But regardless, Sweden win the ball back. And now I think this is a smart thing to do. You know, if you are Team India and you're 3-0 up, this is what you do. You just pass the ball around, keep the ball, rotate if you want, switch if you want. Just don't let your opponent have any sniff at goal or even touch the ball. So I don't think we can disregard what Sweden is doing. But I think we need to get used to it for the next few minutes, Lokmanu.
Yeah, absolutely. I think something has to change, Selman. Like you said, the way India has to come back into this game is to stop giving away the ball to Sweden. And you and I have been talking about this. The 5 at the back, Selvin, the 5-4-1, as you will see by a lot of nations being used, that is the meta available. Meta means the most effective tactics available out there. That is the meta formation in this game. And when you want to try and see out the lead, it is very, very important. Now for the Tigers, the constant pressure has to come in, the team press has to come in, the fullbacks have to go forward, new techniques of the German cross and the standard crossing, or playing some driven passes in the front. There has to be aggressive really in their approach, because there's nothing to lose. Even if they get a couple of goals back, it is going to be quite a fight against a team like Sweden. But if you play still a bit passive, if you keep giving the ball away to Sweden, they're just going to capitalize and score another one, which will definitely put this game to bed.
Well, absolutely, Lokmanu. Another goal for Sweden here would mean that's game, set and match. And I'm really sorry if both of us sound a little low on energy right now. I mean, we are both watching this game as neutrals, but at the end of the day, we love Team India, we love the Tigers, and seeing them concede 3 goals in such a fashion is not something that makes any of us happy. But regardless, we still have time to capitalize, and on the positive side, there is still 22 in-game minutes left, which are good enough for Team India to score 3 goals. They've done it in the past. It's going to be difficult, but it's certainly not impossible. But right now, with the way Team Sweden is playing and with the constant pressure, there are going to be a lot of gaps opening up in Team India's defense. So every chance that you get, you have to convert it. And there is a magician on the field, Ronaldinho. Can he inspire Team India with his magic to maybe, just maybe, get something out of this game and get that momentum shift in our favor? Mbappe to R9. Lokmanu, this is going to be an interesting phase, because this is the attack. Mbappe is in the box. Is he going to take a shot? He delays it. He takes a shot, but Courtois again equal to it. I'm not sure if that was the right decision, but great keeper movement or great goalkeeping out there. And on the other end, we have another chance for Sweden. Mbappe is running in. Great defending by Diaz. Mbappe gets it again. And everything that could go wrong for Team India goes wrong. 4-0 to Sweden. That should be that, and I think it's going to be about damage control now.
I mean, that is just so unlucky. I think that goal, of course, didn't go in because it was, I think, a foul. And Team India is still in it because the score is still 3-0, Selvin. So glad to hear that and to see that, actually. And here's Team India with a chance. Henry with some fantastic dribbling. Great skill there. A beautiful elastico, and Team India piling on the pressure, really. That chance from Mbappe, Selvin, I was screaming to myself because you were talking that shoot the ball because Mbappe had 2 chances in order to make that count. A little too much delay in taking the shot for Kylian Mbappe, and unfortunately, that keeper movement was not at all a good decision for it to go against Team India. The keeper comes out, Edwin van der Sar. So for a second, I got confused between the two yellow jerseys, but Team India had to do that, and it's 82 minutes on the clock. It seems a bit difficult now for India to come back into this game, but they're still piling on the pressure. R9 tries to play it to Kylian Mbappe, but Sweden, of course, somehow they've gotten away with the 2 chances, Selvin, that could have put the Tigers back in this game. A lot of positives to take from this, by the way, and I would highly encourage everyone watching, supporting the Tigers, to try and be positive. This is not the end of the tournament. It is not a knockout game. Team India is playing its 3rd game. They have lost 1 game, they've won 1 game, and in the 3rd game they are losing. But there's still 2 matches to go today and 5 tomorrow. So there's a lot of chance for Team India to come back into this tournament and make it to the knockouts. So positivity in terms of supporting the Tigers is, of course, very important. And I think, Selvin, I think you will also see this, that some chances that Charanjot and Saranch have made for Team India have been very good. They just have to be more clinical in front of the goal, and I think they'll start seeing those goals come in.
Very true, Lokman. I have to be very honest about few things out here. The difference between the class of your opponents is seen. Now, without any disrespect to any Indian FIFA players, there is a difference in skill. There is a skill gap when it comes to playing against teams like Sweden, who are ranked higher than you. And you could see that, they anticipate things that maybe the opponents that Charanjot, Saran, Saki play against on a regular basis don't. And that's what has helped them a little, and that's something that went against us. And you could see Team India being consoled out there by Genesis. But yeah, at the end of the day, it's still a long way to go, as you said. It's a big tournament. There are many games left, 7 games more left. And just to let everyone know, top 4 from every group out of a possible 6 are the ones who will be qualifying for the next round. They are the ones who will be qualifying for the next round. So there's still a long way to go. And Lokmani, before I give it over to you, I think I would just like to remind people about the Euro 2016 campaign. Portugal, of course, were the winners of the tournament, but very few people remember that they did not win the group. They did not even finish second in the group. They did not win any game in the group. They came 3rd in the group and qualified as the lucky ones when it came to, qualified as basis of their goal difference. But right now on the screen, we have the group table as well. And Lokmanu, looking at the table, it still looks like everything to play for.
Yeah, absolutely, Selvin. I think the way you were mentioning about the Euros as well, I think it all that matters is that you have to be in the tournament right till the end. When you have 10 games to play in a group stage format over 2 days, one bad day does not mean it's going to be a bad day for the second part of the group stages as well. So India has played 3 matches, lost 2 against one of the best nations in the world when it comes to Germany and Sweden, 1 against South Africa. There's still a lot of positives to take from this game against Sweden as well, because they had a lot of chances, just that their own mistakes, which is very unlikely of the likes of Charanjot and Saranch, because they barely do these kind of mistakes at the highest level. As I said, they've proven themselves really well in the club format throughout the season, and even winning the IFF tournament. I think all that is there in them. It's just that they have to focus a bit more and get those results. As we see the table now, Israel sitting at 5 points, Sweden at 5 points, Germany at 5 points, Peru at 4. Peru surprisingly doing really well. As you see, South Africa has lost 2 games now, Selvin. They've drawn 1. India has won 1 game, lost 2. Peru has won a game and drawn, so that's puts them on 4 points. And Germany, Sweden, Israel on the same record, really. Goal difference is not a matter of concern really at this point in time, but it is still so close because top 4 out of the 6 will qualify for the knockouts, and we still have 8 more games to play. It's just 7 more games to play. So I think it's very, very important for Team India now to focus on their next game against Israel, and it is going to be a very, very crucial game, Selvin, in order to get those 3 points.
Indeed, Lokmani, I think this is going to be a very tough game, considering that Sweden and Germany are currently above Team India, along with Israel, who are at the top of the table right now. But then Team India was above Sweden in the previous game, and Sweden managed to surprise us with their surprise elements. But Team India, of course, they have everything that it takes to end day one on a high. And hopefully, for everybody watching, I'm very sure that Team India is not going to let us down. And no matter what happens with regards to the results, one thing we know is that they are going to give their best. They're going to fight till the very end. And if they lose, it's only going to be because the other team was better than them, and not because they were not up to the mark. So that's something that we can be happy about. It's still a long way to go, still a long day to go. I think we're going to go into a short break now. There is time for the next match to start, which is going to be against Israel. Lokmanu, I think we'll be back very soon on the other side. Do not go away. Welcome back, everyone, and thank you for your patience. Team India has played 3 games on the day one of the FIFAe Nations Cup 2023. 7 more games left overall, 2 more games left for today. And today's game, the next game, of course, is India versus Israel. I have Lokmanu with me, joining me for this game. And Lokmanu, we've had mixed emotions throughout these 3 games. Close game against Germany, great win against South Africa, which was again very close, but then a complete dominating performance by Sweden, sweeping us all out of our feet. Your thoughts on that game once again, just before we look into the squad for Team India?
Yeah, I think we've gone through the squad of Team India multiple times, so it's fair to say we can talk about the games that has happened. Unfortunate for Team India, especially against the game in Germany when we conceded the first goal. If the viewers remember how the ball got deflected and Mbappe got the ball. So, yeah, I think we've started with the game already. So, Selvin, I think that has to be in the past now. Let's look at the future. And here we are with the game between Israel and India. India kicking off from left to right in the red kit, whereas Israel is playing in their white kit. And like I said, I think this game is the one that matters. All the games that has happened, especially the win against South Africa, is going to end up being so crucial when we look at the points tally at the end of this group stages, Selvin, after tomorrow. So that is the one positive that we all of us should take going into this game, because Sweden and Germany, obviously, they have been the favorites and they'll always be the favorites with the kind of talent that they have. But our Tigers are no less, ranked 6th in the world. I think it just has to now rise up to the occasion in this game against a formidable Israel team.
Very well said, Lokman. I think I completely agree with you. Let's just, for now, keep that game in the past and focus on the present. And Israel out here trying to make Team India pay, but Van der Sar, with the safe hands out there, making sure that he would not let this one go past him. Saransh and Charanjot are continuing for Team India in this game. And of course, Israel have Yuval with them, who's been on great form throughout this season. He's also qualified for the FIFA World Cup, and I think that's going to be a foul, and Team India are going to get this game. I would still request everyone to keep supporting Team India in the chat. They've lost the ball right now. Mbappe getting the ball away from Team India in a very dangerous position. They have options, but Israel making sure that the user experience did not directly go for the final pass, and that's good decision making out there, Lokmani.
Yeah, I think Israel have been quite composed in their build-up, as we see, and that's a back post cross for Serge Milinkovic-Savic. It's actually Vanya Milinkovic-Savic, apologies, and that's the first goal for Israel coming in from a corner. What a beautiful cross that was. And Savic, the goalkeeper in real life, who has gotten this insane FUD card. He's 6'8", the tallest player in the game, has come up against Team India and scored the first goal for Israel. Again, not the start Team India would have wanted, but they have put themselves in this position in order to bounce back. They have to really, Selvin, because again, the same thing happened with Sweden in the last game, and they have to make sure that they come back into this game in time. Otherwise, the clock ticks on, another goal goes in, and it's going to be very, very difficult for Team India.
Very true. A very unfortunate goal to concede once again, but credits to Israel for giving that a try. A lot of you all must be wondering, why did the keeper not just collect the ball when it was right next to him? Unfortunately, it was the game mechanics. The ball does not lock to the keeper, it locked to the player, and the keeper just keeps watching. For the ones who play this game, they can relate to what I'm saying. For the ones who do not, we don't really have an explanation for the same. Sometimes there are things in this game which you can't explain. I'm very sorry for the technical difficulties. These are the ones that we're getting from the stream from Riyadh, and this is not something from our end, but we're very sorry that you have to experience it. But me and Lokmanu are here with you to just take you through these games and make sure that we give you coverage from time to time. Team India still looking for an answer, but falling short of everything out here, and Mbappe punishing Team India for that mistake. Gave the ball away in midfield, and looks like things are just not going our way. Look at that. There was too much space somehow, and I think some miscommunication with the player switching out there.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough one to take really for Team India conceding another goal. This is something that worried me after we conceded the first goal. It's a sticky situation for the Tigers right now. They just haven't found their momentum. This does happen at the highest level. I mean, like I said, as a professional player, you have to be focused every single minute, every single second of the game. One moment you slack off, that happened in the game, and then we ended up conceding the second. Brilliant individual skill by the Israelis, by the way, in order to score that goal. Beautiful elastico and sending the defending the other way, taking nothing away from Israel. I think the defending could have been a lot better. It's just that, Selvin, that this probably the formation. It's probably something that is not working out the best for the Tigers, which actually worked for them when we had qualified for the FIFA Nations Cup as the winners of the Asia and Oceania region. I mean, that has to come back. Uh, they have to be extremely positive because they have another day in front of them. They still have this game. I mean, they're not out of this game yet. It's just been 30 minutes, early days. One goal in time before the halftime, maybe, and that puts us back into this game. So we just have to wait it out and see. But as things stand, Selvin, something needs to change for the Tigers.
Indeed, Lokmanu, something has to change for the E-Tigers, and hopefully whatever changes happen, change something on the scoreboard in the favor of Team India by getting us that first goal. I mean, that we're looking for. It's been not the best days for Team India when it comes to goals today. They've only scored 2 goals in 3 games, and that's something very unlike, of our team, considering that when we played the playoffs, the final days for the Asia Oceania region, we were scoring goals for fun. Every game had at least 3 goals, and the finals, of course, had monumentally around 7 to 8 goals in them. And here we are again. Here goes Mbappe. I hope that's onside, but unfortunately, it is offside. But good intent by Team India.
Yeah, of course. I think Selvin, you rightly said about this that it's all about the intent at the end of the day. If you're making chances like that, even if it's kind of offside, even by the closest of margins, that is Team India heading towards the positive direction in terms of creating more chances. And as they say, like if you don't shoot, you don't score. So that is what Team India has to do. They have to keep creating. They have to take some shots on goal. Even though it's not as simple as it is in real football, it comes to taking a shot and getting a deflection. But in FIFA as well, sometimes when you do take those chances, you do end up getting some second balls, and a tap in is available for you to score. So, one of the ways to beat the defense of Israel is to try and take some long shots, how they were doing against South Africa, Selvin. If you remember, the confidence to take one of those shots from 30 yards, 40 yards. I think that's very important if they're not able to find space. Again, a cheap loss of possession, not something that the Tigers would have wanted. Kamavinga tries to play it to Thierry Henry. Israel are looking so dominant. Again, tries to play a cutback pass inside, but good defending there by Virgil van Dijk in order to stop that chance. But once again, Team India, another loss of possession from the center, and that has given Israel another chance to score the third goal right at the stroke of halftime. Bellingham for R9 takes a shot, but Edwin van der Sar keeping the Tigers in this game still. Henry tries to cross, takes a header, hits the post, and India wants get away with it. My goodness, I think we need a breather after that, Seven, as do the Tigers do. They have to take this time and regroup themselves because the last 5 minutes were a lot of pressure from the Israelis, especially considering how Yuval is the man in form at the moment.
Well, absolute pressure last few minutes, and I think Team India has to thank their lucky stars right now that we're not 3-0 or 4-0 down in this game. A lot of things have gone wrong for them, and I mean, believe me when I say this, we know how these players are and how good they are. Is just not happening for them. They're trying their best. They're trying to make their game plan work, but then I think Lokmanu will be the better person to tell you about this. At times, it's about game plan versus game plan, and no matter who you are, if your game plan isn't better than the ones as compared to the opponent, you are going to suffer. And I think this is the classic case of us seeing something similar, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's a mix of two things that Selvin has rightly said. That it's either that no matter how good you are, it's sort of like you're not hitting your form, you're not at that level when you're supposed to be, or the other is that the other team is just tactically outclassing you in that sense. And I think Israel has got their tactics spot on. You see their manual pressing at the center of the pitch that has given E-Tigers a lot of trouble to get out of their own half. And that's what needs to change. Every single time India wins the ball in their own half, Israel is pouncing onto them to win the ball back. It's like the same thing as the kind of rule that Jurgen Klopp has set for Liverpool when they were in form, the 7 second rule of try and pressing the opponents in their own half and winning the ball back. So I think it's kind of the same situation Israel is doing, that no matter what happens, as soon as India has the ball, we're going to press together as a team, as a 2v2 duo, and we're going to try and snatch the ball away, keep it as much as we can, and then try patiently open up India's defense. So I think that needs to change somehow for the Tigers, because Israel is very comfortable right now, and India has to make something of this attack, because this is a good chance. A lot of players are tracking back for Israel. Good build-up play there by Team India. Thierry Henry. We see Socrates on a run. Can this be a cross played in well? Good cross there, but Edwin van der Sar coming out. So yeah, these are the kind of things that India needs to do, Selvin, as you will be able to see it yourself. Different ways of trying to attack, because the same thing again and again is being read really well by Israel right now.
Well, absolutely, Lokmanu, and I think that's the reason there is a coach assigned for every team, and that's what's happening. Like, these coaches are going to be viewing these games whilst uh, the other games are being played, and they are going to make notes of what exactly is the team doing when it comes to attack, when it comes to defense, when it comes to passing, when it comes to decision making, and of course, Israel's game plan has worked to perfection, and Team India needs to get some other trick out of their hat, because this is clearly not working for them. Every time they go near the ball, they're taking too much time to make a pass. And with that manual press that Yuval and Feldman have for Team Israel, I think you cannot even have more than a second on the ball. And there was a good chance out there, but I think everybody was confident that it was not going to be a goal. But a pause cued out here. And once again, we can all hope that Team India is going to make something beneficial from this pause. I do not really want to jinx it by saying anything else, but let's just hope for the best. And it's still not game over in this one. One goal is going to change everything. And Lokmanu, I think you're going to be the best person to tell us what exactly is going to be happening in their heads right now.
Yeah, I think it's a good switch that they're doing by putting on the 4-3-2-1 formation. It's one of the most effective formations, personally my favorite. And Charanjot, of course, has played this formation a lot himself. So has Saransh. So if they can manage to put on the pressure with the 4-3-2-1, it is a very good formation going forward, triggering some of your wingers down the byline and getting some crosses in, or maybe a cut back in. And even those Trivela shots that FIFA players are familiar with, that it's a shot that you take with the L2 button, and it's like a out of foot shot that goes in, and that is very effective against teams who are sitting a bit deep in their own half. So if they can manage to get those shots in and make the Israel defense a little bit uncomfortable, then 2 goals in a game of FIFA is not a lot, Selvin. You and I have both known that for a very long time. We've worked as commentators throughout the whole campaign of Team India, be it their play-ins, their online qualifiers, their regional qualifiers. And oh my goodness, this is not the kind of position you want to give the ball away to cheaply. Milinkovic Savic, and India just about get away, escape that situation really. Because losing possession in that area is not a good sign. But yeah, Selvin, we've seen this from time to time really, that 2 goals is not much. It's just that India has to be positive going forward and make something out of their attacks.
Yes, indeed. I think it's all going to come down to the stat that matters the most now, which is the stat on the top left of your screen. The goals, of course, that every team scores, no matter how they come. I think right now it's time just to make sure that they somehow come to you. And you can see Team India is not very confident out here with the way Bellingham just went past Team India, and now Mbappe, the last person you want to see with the ball when your defense is not really going your way. But luckily for Team India, we have the ball with us now, and hopefully, look at that Israel team falling back one by one together. Change in the side of attack. Zambrota now in here. R9 plays it back. The Israel defense absolutely compact. And look at that movement. Look at that interception. That's very impressive, Lokmanu. And I think any team is going to find it difficult to break this Israel defense down.
Yeah, absolutely. I think what contributes really well to their playing style is the likes of Vanya Milinkovic-Savic, who's been playing for them in the midfield. That's 6'8" player. I mean, that's an incredible height for a midfielder to be that good, really. When you're 6'8" and when you're trying to intercept those passes, oh my goodness, that's a cheap loss of possession. Pogba has a chance to seal this game off for Israel, and that is not how you want to come back into this game. A very cheap giveaway, so unlike of CJ and Saranj. I mean, they're just feeling the pressure, aren't they, Selvin, in this game? Just when we were talking about for India to try and make something of their attacks, it's just very heartbreaking, really, because their quality is so much more than this. It's just been a tough day at the office, I guess, for the boys.
I mean, it is heartbreaking to concede this kind of a goal. You can see it on their faces as well. They are better than this. We all know that they are better than this, and they are much better at what they do. But Israel right now, all credits to them. They've done their homework. I mean, I think most of the teams underestimated them, but they won the first game against Peru by 4 goals to 0. They were held in the next game, and that's going to be the 5th goal as we speak. Team India just having no answer for the same. And I think just like everybody watching, we are all lost for words, but unfortunately in a negative way right now. Lokmanu, I do not know what to say, but let's just hope this is going to be like the saying, the night is darkest just before the dawn, and let's hope the dawn is coming.
I hope the same as well, Selvin. Those are some really nice and positive words that I think the Tigers need, because everything that they're doing is just not seem to be working. The only concern right now is the goal difference. India has to shut up shop now and not give them more goals, because that is going to have an impact. And that's another chance. Good save there by Van der Sar. And as I said, 5-0 deficit right now could actually be very disheartening. And oh my goodness, what a goal that is. Israel are just toying with the defense, really, of Team India. And it's very difficult to watch, Selvin. Trust me, I've been in that position behind the players. And you have been here, you've been watching the games throughout the season. Both of us have seen that it just gets very difficult, because we've both been in that position before. One other chance for Israel now, last chance. Bellingham, will he go directly for the shot? Tries to play it, but oh my goodness, he wins this. But that's a tough one to take for the boys, because Israel are going to be so high on confidence. They really need to stay calm now, India, for the last game. As we talk about this going forward now, as we look at the highlights as well, first of all, that beautiful cross there. Difficult for the keeper. I don't know, he could have done a lot better than this. But yeah, I think, Selvin, I'm going to let you have the next couple of goals, because they were so beautifully crafted by Israel.
I mean, beautiful goals indeed. And once again, I'm sorry for the low energy that we have. I mean, it's very disappointing to watch this, especially knowing that our Tigers are much better than this, and it was just a bad game, and unfortunately a series of 2 bad games now. It doesn't mean it's a bad life, as they say, it's just a bad day. You have to make it through today, and someday it will be your time. And let's just hope the next game is going to be the game changer, because we still have another game. These are some heartbreaking goals to watch, and you could see the frustration at the end for Team India. I mean, this is not what Team India does. This is what a game can do to you, because they were both out of it. You could see those unnecessary slides, unnecessary tackles, and Israel are flying in this group for sure. A 6-0 win against a team that's ranked 6th in the world, against the champions of the Asia-Oceania region, against one of the best duos in the world, is something remarkable. Just like Lokmanu, I think we're both speechless right now because of what we are seeing from the past few games. But we still have one more game left in this day to go. and it's going to be against Peru. We're going to be looking at the other results. It's 1-1 between Sweden and Peru. South Africa still yet to register a win. They've lost 2-1 against Germany. Now, we're going to take a look at the table, but it's going to be a very interesting table because as things stand, Lokmanu, I mean, it's still a decent position when it comes mathematically. Everything is still possible, of course. There's still 6 more games left. And I think that's going to just cheer up and lighten up the mood a little because, as compared to the other groups that we saw the other day, I mean, that we saw earlier today, Israel is on 8 points right now, Germany on 8 as well, Sweden on 6, Peru on 5, India on 3, and South Africa on 1, which means realistically and mathematically, every team can still qualify because they have 6 games left to play. So that's something to be a little positive about. But momentum is not going in Team India's favor. But we have a game against Peru coming up. Do you think we can turn things around?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, Salman, when I look at the table now, I still feel mathematically there's a lot of chance for us because this does happen in a long tournament when you've got preparations, when you travel for a LAN event like this, the pressure gets to you. But when you're coming back or when you're on the back of winning your region's championship, like India is the champions of Asia and Oceania region, you sort of have that pressure on you. But there are so many positives to take from this as well, really. You have had those chances, you need to just stop making mistakes. And as we see on the table, if India manages to get a win against Peru, who are looking kind of solid right now, Salvin, I think they can end the day on a high, end on 6 points, and that will make it really close. And when we look at the other table as well, I think that's a graphic beautifully put out there for us. That Turkey, it's so interesting to see, Salvin, because Spain, one of the favorites in this tournament, have been at 1 point. They're sitting at 1 point, which was surprising really, because Turkey, as much as we know that they're so good at FIFA esports, but you never expected Spain. Now, the reason why we're talking about Group C is because a team like Spain can be at the bottom of the table today, but they can switch things up and actually move up the rankings to third or the second even tomorrow because there are 5 more games to play. It's the same number of games that are left for all the teams to be played tomorrow and still 1 more game left to go. So anything can happen. I mean, we're better off in a position than Spain are really, and Spain is considered to be one of the favorites to win this tournament. So anything can happen really. It's just that we need a result against Peru. Even a draw would be a very good result going into this last game. They just need that confidence from their coach, who's Sid Chandrana, or from Saksham, who's their third player. I mean, a lot of motivation is needed at the camp over there right now.
A lot of motivation indeed. And as we saw about Group C, a very interesting thing, Brazil, of course, the defending champions, are currently second. Portugal, another favorites, considering 2 guys playing for them, are in third place. And the 2 Asian and Oceania teams, of course, Singapore and Australia are there as well. But I think the game is going to start in a while, and we are going to head into a short break, and we're going to be back very soon. Do not go away because the game is going to start anytime, and we'll be back as soon as the game resumes. Thank you so much for your patience, everyone. The last game for today between Peru and Team India is going to be underway very soon. Team India looks like they've just regrouped themselves. Both of them good to go for this one. The match is underway. Lokmanu is going to be one last game for today. Peru and India, both these teams know how crucial this game is, considering that they are in 4th and 5th position respectively in this group, and Team India want to somehow end this day on a high, and a win here would put them into 4th place, and if things stay that way, that would be enough for them to qualify for the last 16. There is a good attempt out there, but good block out there again, and good attacking intent from the kickoff, right away, and that's some good news, Lokmani, for us.
Yeah, absolutely. I think when we look at the table, Selvin, it's still there. Nothing has sort of concluded this group because of the results that we've faced. A win against Peru, that's a chance for them. Good defending, and Thierry Henry, wow. What a miss that was to the respite of the E-Tigers, because if that would have gone in, it would have been sort of the same situation for the E-Tigers to go behind a goal in the initial minutes of the game. But yeah, I think going back to what you said about the table, it's very, very important that we get the first goal, get those 3 points, because everything will change going into tomorrow as we will be sitting on the 4th position. There have been a lot of draws as well, Selvin, as we've seen. And just when we talk about that, here's a chance. Van Dijk plays it out to Kylian Mbappe. This is where Charanjot and Saransh are so dangerous in and around the box with those step overs. But good snatch there. R9 plays it to Kylian Mbappe. Has the time to take a shot, and that's the first goal for Team India through the legs of the goalkeeper. And that is the goal that they needed. Such a crucial goal that was, Selvin. And wait a minute. I've sort of got it wrong. Okay, my apologies. I did not know that Peru is actually playing in the red kit. It wasn't something that we were aware of, so I'd like to apologize to the viewers. That's actually Peru who's taken the lead, and Team India once again are trailing. Oh my God, this is a tough situation, really.
A very tough situation. I'm really sorry, guys, for the confusion. Of course, we went with the flow thinking that Team India is in the red jersey once again, and forgot to completely check as to which team is playing with which kit. But regardless, what has happened, and Team India is 1-0 down, but they are here trying to go and get that goal out there. Van Dijk plays the ball out. Is that going to be a pen? It's a corner, and Team India just need to pull out some trick out of the hat right now. They have to change something. They have to maybe believe in themselves, take those chances, take those risks. Fernandez with the shot, it's been blocked once again, and Peru now with the ball once again. And it looks like it's going to be a long night out here for Team India if this continues in the same way, Lokmanu.
Yeah, I think it was sort of a difficult situation for us as well to comprehend, because Team India has played all their games in the red kit, and now to see them switch to the kit, maybe bringing us some more luck, Selvin, by choosing a different kit, has sort of confused as well. So yeah, it's a tough situation the way the Tigers have started this game as well. So much optimism when we thought that goal had went in because of the same kit, but nonetheless, good chance that was for Team India with Thierry Henry at the start of the game then, where we thought it was actually Peru. But India just needs to build on this, because it's not looking good. Even though we are getting more openings in the back line when it comes to the defense of Peru, really, Selvin. We did not get much of a chance against Israel to make these number of attacks. As you see, the game is quite open inside Peru's half for Team India. We've had a couple of chances as well. Another one, R9 in around the box, goes for a shot, but good defending there by Dilek, really. And that's another chance that is gone by, really, Team India. But there is more aggression, there is more patience in the build-up for Team India. Selvin, I think that's definitely the case in this game.
I agree, Lokmanu. I think this was a good impact that was made with that attack. At least Peru knows that Team India is not going to give this up so easily, even though it's just a group, and even though they've scored that first goal. I mean, I was going to say as soon as you were done, the Team India, of course, would need all the luck, and that goal, of course, which was a nutmeg, was, I mean, at the end of the day, as compared to the game mechanics, a little bit on the luckier side. But unfortunately for Team India, luck is something which is not an option for them today. Hope is something that's not going to work for them today. It's just gone wrong, and that pass tells you everything.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, those passes tell you everything about how you're playing in a game of FIFA esports, really. Because when we see the passes get going for Peru, as you see, the number of passes they're creating in the back line and the midfield as well, they have done a very good job in order to patiently build. That's another chance for Peru. Tries to dribble with Davies, but very well defended by Team India there. It's just that every time the E-Tigers get the ball inside their own half, they have to look for outlets to play towards and not get stuck in the midfield. I think that's been their biggest problem from what we can see as casters on this side of the screen. But here's a chance. Henry takes a shot, and that's the goal back for Team India. Exactly what we needed. Brilliant build-up play from Charanjot and Saranj, and we finally see a smile on their faces. That's actually quite heartwarming, really, as their fan, as the Indian e-football fans would be very happy to see that beautiful goal created by the Tigers. And Thierry Henry on his right foot would not miss that. Selvin, that's exactly the spark we were looking for, and beautifully set up, and Team India are back in it.
Beautifully set up, beautifully finished, beautifully worked on, and I think Team India, of course, know that they just cannot let this slip out here, because Mbappe was in here, and that's going to be at the end of the first half. What an incredible first half have we had out here. But coming back to the goal that Team India scored, I think again this time they were not hard done by the game mechanics, because Thierry Henry was able to release that shot very quickly as compared to how it was in previous games for R9 when Team India needed a goal. But what's done is done. It's 1-1 right now for Team India against Peru in a possibly qualifier game for them, because one of these teams I think are going to be battling for that fourth spot at the end of the day at least. But yeah, one more half to go, Lokmanu. I am still trying to comprehend whatever has happened in this day today, and I cannot even imagine what the E-Tigers would be going through. So many decisions to make, so many things to forget about, so many things to remember, and let's just hope for some epic 45 in-game minutes next.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's the kind of goal that we needed, Selvin, really. And when we look at things in FIFA esports, it's all about the momentum. It's all about those little margins, really. And this is what we are looking for when it comes to a shift of momentum for the Tigers coming back into this game after conceding the first goal. We haven't seen that in the previous games, where we're seeing this now, that we have that fighting spirit back. And Team India now kicking off from left to right in the white kit. Once again, they're playing in the white kit, something we weren't aware of at the start of the game, considering they've played all their games in the red kit. But beautiful dribbling there from R9 by the Tigers, and just being snatched away right at the end by Peru. And now they'd like to build again.
Well, absolutely. Peru, of course, being cool, calm and composed inside that penalty box. Now, knowing how difficult this game is when it comes to defending inside the penalty box, there's always a risk, and there's Lionel Messi, Kevin De Bruyne. What a dream partnership would that be for any real team. Thierry Henry as well. I mean, what a great team Peru has, along with Alphonso Davies, the speed demon on that left-hand side. I think this is one of the best squad that India has faced so far when it comes to player capabilities, and that was a giant throw-in out there. And Team India would be looking to capitalize on this mistake. Here is Kylian Mbappe, has R9 running. He's going to look for options in the center for sure. R9 still with him, but he goes on, gives the ball in the center. Van Dijk, Socrates, and now Team India looking a bit dangerous out here. Lokmanu, I think this is going to be the moment where Team India are going to try and attack as much as possible. I think this is the fearless attitude that we want to see of them, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. The way that they're attacking Selvin, even you can notice that now, that they've been very positive going forward. They're getting a lot of space in the defense of Peru as well. Now once more, R9 has a chance, plays it to Henry. Just a bit of push and shove, but he was offside. Delict holding on to it really well. Of course, Matthias Delict being one of the best centre backs in this game. When it comes to the FIFA Ultimate Mode, his 96 Team of the Season card has been fantastic for every nation that has used him. But coming back to Team India, lot of positivity going forward. We can actually see the real game of CJ and Saransh going forward, especially how they're building up as well now. I think they just need to put everything behind them after this game, Selvin. Whatever those results has been, those 3 losses, they should not let it affect them and reset their game plan, their mindset going into tomorrow, especially for this game, because they are doing really well with the build-up. Socrates now to Pogba, has a chance, step over boost, but good defending there by Peru. Multiple chances being created, lots of space as well. All the passes are clicking in. I think Selvin at the 65-minute mark, it's fair to say a couple substitutions and Team India might actually get a goal from one of those players that will be substituted in.
Well, I can just hope and this time even pray a little harder for the same. But yes, I would just like to point out one thing, as we were speaking about meta, the most effective tactics available, you can clearly see that, Team India, with regards to the meta that they've been using in previous times, with regards to that midfield attack, wherein they just diagonally pass the ball, create a triangle in that midfield, and then release the striker at the edge of the box or the player at the edge of the box for a shot. That's clearly not working because every team that they're playing against clearly has an answer to the same, and they will have to work on it and clearly avoid that route for sure, because it seems to be not working, and sometimes you may just get punished when you lose the ball in that central area.
Yeah, absolutely, and that is why you have to try and do things differently, Selvin, and you rightly pointed out that every team knows what you're going to do at this stage because it's so competitive. You have to be different. The reason why you'd be a champion or the reason why you'd be winning games is because you're doing something different, better than the opponent. It's not that you do the same thing, it's that how you do it better than them, and that's what is going to be the difference maker. Kylian Mbappe, what a chance that was. Beautiful reverse elastico that could have given us that goal to take the lead. Very well defended by Peru at the last second. And my goodness, what a chance that was. Because if you would have scored that, it would sort of been the similar situation what we had against South Africa when we scored in the 83rd minute, even though that was a penalty. But that was too close for South Africa to come back. Now this is, of course, a sticky situation for Team India. Very well defended. Pogba now plays it to Thierry Henry. Couple of step overs to try and recycle possession. Good pass there, but that was, I think, forcing a bit.
Absolutely, I think it was a little forced, but then, of course, you can see Peru is a team that's actually playing this one under pressure now. They are the ones making those mistakes. They don't want to be caught out. They don't want to let this game go away. But Team India attacking with every possible intent, and that is something that you need at this point. Pogba winning that duel, and he still had the ball, but he's lost it unfortunately. And R9 now for Peru plays it to Messi, to De Bruyne. The pause, of course, which was skewed around 20 in-game minutes back, is still the same. It was skewed by India, which means they were the ones who wanted to go for a tactical change, maybe for a substitution, or maybe go for the kill. But Lokmanu, of course, if you are Peru right now in this situation, you're thinking, you know what, I think I am okay with the draw, considering that South Africa is at 1 point and India would have been on 6 points, with Peru being at 5 if India went on to win this game. And that's going to be out for a goal kick with 15 in-game minutes plus stoppage time left. Is it too little too late for India to get those 3 points now?
Yeah, I mean, it's too late. It's actually the last minute of the game, and India were going to try and force themselves to get the goal because we need it, Selvin, when we need it badly. As you said, Peru would like to settle for a draw, and they'd not be to be feeling hard done by with not getting those 3 points. I think it's fair to say the 1 point they'll get is going to be enough for them to reset for tomorrow and get those wins for themselves. Whereas for India, I think a draw isn't that bad either, Selvin. even though we are pushing for that last goal, but now Peru will have the last attack. So India just has to be mindful of defending this last chance. But when they go into tomorrow, a draw is not that bad. It's so much better than giving 3 points to Peru. So let's just see how this pans out, because the last attack with a +1 stoppage time will fall to Peru. What are they going to do? Can Team India see this one out? Great press there, but the ball goes all the way back. Mbappe, the referee has not blown the whistle. Kamavinga now for Peru. This is a tough situation for Team India. Felix to Messi, but very good defending by Ruben Diaz, and that concludes the game between India and Peru. 1-1 was the final scoreline. Great comeback by Team India, showing a lot more positivity than the previous games, and this will give them some time to reset until tomorrow, and that puts 4 points on the table. This was the first goal for Peru that went through the legs. Good keeper movement. Unfortunate for Team India to concede that because the goalkeeper was moved, but this goal really great build-up play, nice little passing, takes the touch first time, great shot by Thierry Henry. So I think those goals, Selvin, they actually tell you how confident you are. And Team India, the goal they scored was a pretty confident one, really. It's all about resetting for tomorrow now, and let's see how the Tigers do, because a full reset, new 5 games, and yeah, I think it still hangs in the balance. Nothing is concluded yet. I am pretty positive that they will go back, look at their mistakes, and turn up as a completely new Team India when it comes to performing at day 2 of the group stages.
Absolutely, Lokmanu. And I think I'm going to repeat the phrase that I said previously, like, the night is darkest just before the dawn. And I think me, Lokmanu, and the entire FIFA community from India can promise you guys that the dawn is coming. And we said this at the start of the tournament. India has had bad days before, but what defines us is that we bounce back from those bad days. We still have another 5 games left tomorrow, and everything can be changed. Let's just take a look at the other results and the group tables before we could end the stream for today. Israel 2, South Africa 2, which is good news, of course. Peru 1, India 1, Germany 0, Sweden 1, which means there is a lot of things happening in the group, Lokmanu, because I think once the group is updated, once the tables are updated, we're still going to see no team reaching double digits on day 1 from our group, which means that's going to be a big positive. I think let's just take a look at the table once it is updated, and that is going to be a very great result for sure. Here we go again. Israel on 9 points, Sweden on 9 points, Germany 8, Peru 6, India 4, South Africa 2. Lokmanu, right now my energy level is a little high because this makes me feel a little better. There is nobody in the group which is out of reach right now. 2 good games tomorrow at the start can absolutely put us in the driving seat, not just to qualify, but also to possibly take a good lead in the group.
Yeah, actually, when you see like 3 draws for the teams that are sitting at the top 2, which is very interesting, really. And as I said, in the last round of fixtures, Sweden was the most, like, you can say, the happiest team, because every other team ended up drawing their games. So the more the draws, the better it is when you're in a winning position, and it actually helps the group overall to be very close, really. So it's a good result for India in the last game, considering they have had bad results against the likes of Israel, Sweden and Germany. I think they're still in it. They just got to reset. They will have the same games in the same order, I believe, tomorrow. And it is very important that India gets points, even if it's a draw, because all we got to do is end up in the 4th position. That's not obviously what the Tigers would need all in all, because you want to be at the top. You want to finish in the 1st or the 2nd or even the top 3, because it does matter as per your seeding as to what opponents you're going to get. If you finish 4th, you're going to get the number 1 seed from another group in the knockouts. So the E-Tigers will not be thinking about that, of course, but it is a factor, really, that motivates you in order to get those wins, and you just don't want to scrape through the group getting into the knockouts. You actually want to perform well. So I think that is going to be the mentality. Charanjot, Saransh, Saksham and Sid Chandrana, all those that are there representing our nation, I think they're well aware of that. They just got to reset, come back, and obviously prove the doubters wrong, because there'll always be doubters, and there'll always be people who are going to have 100% support towards the national team. So let's just hope that the latter is better than the former.
Well, absolutely, Lokmanu, and I'm very sure about this. I mean, speaking about mentality, let me tell everybody that is watching that these guys, the Indian E-Tigers, are not there on a vacation. They're trying to do
Disappointing for
something,
sure.
and I think
Like
they
we
are
aim
on
to
mic
came,
right now.
we came with the
So
aim
I'm
to
not very
have
sure
9
if we're
points
able
today.
to hear them.
But 4 is obviously a disappointment.
Yes,
but
he gets
we have a
audio.
whole day too.
So you got day 2. What do you think was your, apart from the win, of course, what was your next best game? That draw in the last game, does it set you up nicely to then go forward and get some more points tomorrow?
Yeah, we knew like we couldn't give Peru a win at all. And plus the first game, I think we could have sneaked in a draw or even a win against Germany. But the losses against Israel and Sweden really hurt us, so we have to bounce back.
How much pride are you filled with the chance to represent India on this stage at E-Nations, really prove what your country has to offer when it comes to FIFA?
It's a huge pride, to represent like the biggest country population-wise, so like a million population, and we are just 5 of us here, so it's a big pride of it.
I mean, you've done very well to get here, and India aren't out yet. Plenty of points still to get tomorrow. They could be making it through. That group is very much wide open. I think both groups are, to be fair, and that's our action done for today, Rachel.
Yeah, thanks so much there, Spen. I feel like
Well, that's where you heard the casters from Riyadh, of course, talking to the E-Tigers. And as they said, they could have maybe sneaked in a draw or even a win against Germany. And the losses against Sweden and Israel hurt us a lot. But Lokmanu, I think it was a pleasure doing this with you today when it comes to commentating for these games and hosting this. We're going to be doing the same thing tomorrow. I would like to thank you for your enormous support and some amazing commentary and hosting throughout the day. We're going to be back here tomorrow at the same time. We need you guys the most to come out here with all the positivity, with all the positive energy in the world, and to support our E-Tigers. Make sure you tune in right on time as we watch something epic happen tomorrow. Can India make it to the knockouts of the FIFAe Nations Cup 2023? We'll find out tomorrow. My name is Selvin alongside Lokmanu. I would like to say a goodbye to you guys for today, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you, Selvin. It was a pleasure. See you guys tomorrow.